The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
What's up, dude? Welcome back to Tank Talk. This is Tank speaking into a microphone here out of Emerge Media Creators Co-op out of Niagara Falls, New York. And after following a wild WrestleMania weekend, a lot of outcomes we did not see coming. Most we did, but the main event took quite a turn, and so did Shane McMahon's ACL. We'll get to that in a minute. As you can see, to my left, joined by the one and only Brother Bren. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. Same shit, different day.
I heard that. And to his left, we are joined. We are graced with his presence. The co-host of The Chase, presented by David Adams Car World, Troy LaCastro. What's going on, man? Welcome to the show. What?
Boys, thank you. What?
What'd
you say, E.T.? No, I appreciate that. That was quite the intro on me. I think you're giving me a little too much credit, but I appreciate it.
You deserve it.
We want our guests to feel welcome, and yeah, you also deserve it, bro.
I felt welcome the second I walked in the door, for sure. Good handshake. I saw that gorgeous long sleeve you had there.
Gorgeous.
Told me you got it off of Facebook Marketplace.
I'm telling you, if you're ever looking for something, don't even go shopping anywhere first. Just go straight to Facebook Marketplace. No free promotion for Facebook Marketplace. Even though, I'll tell you a quick story real quick. They kind of screwed me up. I can't sell nothing on there.
Really?
So during COVID, we obviously couldn't work out nowhere. All the gyms were closed. So
couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Found myself a nice little elliptical, just get a little cardio in.
Absolutely.
I was done with it. We're back. Gyms reopened. I'm like, all right, I don't need this no more. I go to sell it. Long story short, this lady went to buy it, sent her husband out to come buy it or come check it out, paid me on spot, picked it up, boom. Easy as that. Sent her videos, how it operated. It was everything she wanted.
Seems like a clean transaction right now.
Right.
Up until
here comes the butt.
Up until it got to her house. This is not the right model I wanted, this and that. Reported me. She's like, I'm going to sue you. I'm like, no, you're not. I literally got proof of everything, the whole conversation. Maybe you should have came with your husband. I don't know. But regardless, I'm like banned from Facebook Marketplace. As a seller.
That's I would put that on your resume.
Really?
That's pretty badass, though. Whatever. I feel like being banned from, I have a buddy who's banned from PayPal, right? That's so last year. Being banned from Facebook Marketplace?
What?
That's hot shit, right?
No one does that.
In my opinion.
Well, I can't sell nothing.
It's all right.
You don't need to.
I'm only a buyer.
Go to Craigslist. We know what happens on Craigslist.
What?
Nothing good.
Not after midnight. Maybe only in the daylight. Craigslist in the daylight, if that's the thing. That's all I'm saying.
You're asking
Just
the
saying.
wrong guy. Our aunt used to be big on Craigslist back in the day when no one knew about it.
No one knew about it.
Now all of a sudden it just blew up and everyone's selling.
Don't do it.
Who knew Craigslist was the best kept secret? Who knew?
Not a secret no more.
Hell no.
Let's get to know you a little bit, Troy.
What?
Sure.
Our listeners at home, they know of the Chase. We had our buddy, David Yager Bomb.
My little brother. He's like my little brother at this point.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah. No, I love the kid to death.
Around.
Love the kid to death, and he's a great worker. So obviously a good
workhorse,
absolute workhorse. Just got the dog in him, but no,
absolute dog,
absolute doggo. But great kid. Obviously does great work. But he's my little brother. Sometimes he says stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna roughhouse him a little bit. I'm gonna beat. Hey, come on. Hey, come on. Hey,
Yager Bomb. Who you think you are? I am.
Good kid though. Good kid though, and obviously love having him around. And he's grown a ton since I first met him. So
that's right. So yeah, we had him over. What was it? The summertime. We brought a few packs in and ripped a little bit. So for our listeners at home, how did you get affiliated with David Adams and the Chase, and pretty much how you got to where you're at today?
Yeah. So I'll try not to make it a crazy long story.
No, listen. This is about you. Okay.
So I get to open up a little bit.
Open up a little bit.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want.
Whatever. All right. I won't do. You know what? In the realm of business, I'll make sure that I'm like.
That's why I said you could say whatever you want. I knew you could understand what I'm saying.
I got you right here.
Yes, sir.
So I actually used to work at Dave & Adams a long time ago. So for you guys around here, you may remember for a little bit, not too long, but there was a store up Military Road.
Mm-hmm.
There was
Yes,
a Dave
there
&
was.
Adams store.
I remember that.
So I'm coming out of high school, going into college, and I needed a job. And Dave of Dave & Adams knew my dad through like beer league softball of all things.
I
Right?
feel like that's where it always starts.
Always.
Damn,
it's,
beer league.
it's a good starting point. A lot of good things
great.
come from beer league softball. A lot of bad things, a lot of good things. It's give or take. But
That's right.
so I got hooked up with that gig, and my first stint at Dave & Adams ended up lasting like 6 years. So it took me all throughout college.
Wow.
And even a little past college when, I went to Buff State and got my journalism degree.
Mm-hmm.
And, journalism jobs weren't necessarily jumping at me, and they weren't coming at me like, this kid's a hot commodity. We need to get him.
And I feel like most of the time that's how it is coming out of school. I mean,
Especially with that.
Take some time, yeah.
Especially in that. Well, I always laugh because it drives me nuts. You get your degree, you go outside, and you're looking for jobs.
Right.
And they're like, well, we need you to have 2 to 3 years of experience before we could consider you. How the hell am I supposed to get experience if you're not going to hire me? You know what I mean? Like,
we talk about it all the time.
ass backwards.
Because me and
Super.
Dylan are still in school too. Shout out Dylan. He's now going to be an Oswego Laker. Welcome to the family.
Woo.
But yeah, we talk about it all the time. Like, how do you expect these young kids, whatever, to have all this experience coming in when they're fresh out?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Give them the opportunity, then they will gain the experience.
Bro, there's internships, obviously. Like, internships are a thing, and they're a good thing. Like, I encourage them because, lo and behold, one of my professors who gave me an internship ended up being my boss down the road. But I'm sitting there thinking like, oh well, you're inexperienced. Well, how am I supposed to get the experience if you're not going to give me the experience?
100%.
Doesn't make sense. So, anyways, like I said, Dave & Adams, 6 years. I ended up leaving there because at one point I actually wanted to pursue like the journalism.
Right.
I actually thought that's what I wanted. So
Plans always change.
Luckily enough, I don't know if you guys know he's the sports director now at Channel 7, Matt Beauvais. Him and I grew up together. We were pretty tight. So him and my current roommate actually worked at Channel 7. I was able to get a part-time job there while still being at Dave & Adams.
Nice.
And then eventually the Dave & Adams thing ended. I started a little bit in news. I was only part-time.
Out here breaking news.
Man, now I'm out here breaking. Now I'm out here breaking news. So I had a short stint at Channel 7 as part time, and I promise I'm getting to the point here. And
Take your
then
time,
so
hey.
I end up. What the nice part is, so I end up at Channel 4, 3.5 years. That's where I really got like. That's where I really kind of, grinded, cut my teeth. Really got my first foot, like full foot in the door in that industry, like in the TV, news, broadcasting. And it's funny because I was never in front of the camera, not once. I was only behind the scenes. I did some desk work, they call it. Obviously, like, if there's a shooting or a fire, not to be like morbid, but I gotta, you gotta kind of.
Yeah, that's the news.
That is the news. It's sad, but like you become desensitized, so it's funny. Like somebody be like, "Did you hear? Like, this many, this
like,
person got
holy
shot."
shit.
Yeah, and you're like,
Sorry.
"That's a Tuesday in Buffalo." Like, unfortunately, I hate to say that, but
Yeah.
like, that's how it is. So I and then I did some digital work. So running the Twitter, running the Facebook, the Instagram, but then just crushing articles, just content and articles for the website, and even like doing some streaming in that for them. And then things happened. I was still working there. I still had my job. It wasn't like anything bad happened, but you just come to realize a few things, especially working through COVID and news. I just realized it wasn't for me. It was never a passion for me, right?
And I feel like if you're not feeling that, it's like
exactly
there's no point of being there. Yeah, definitely.
and that's what
I
it
agree.
was. It was a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a job that I felt I had come in. I was very green, and I had gotten a chance to learn under some really good people. That's the thing, News 4, like you're talking the Luke Moretti's, the Jackie Walkers, the Al Vaughters, the George Rickards. I got to work and learn under all of them. So obviously a wealth of knowledge, and that helped me a lot that I wasn't on camera and just watching these type of people from afar. Or you're not too far, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And
especially different types of personalities too.
Oh,
you know,
dude.
Here we go.
Then you could pick a little bit of each.
You ever really want to like test yourself mentally? Work in a newsroom.
Boom.
Because you're right. There are so many personalities that make up that place.
Probably the whole spectrum of people.
Oh, you got
and then they're all trying to work together.
You got like well, that's what I'm saying. You got like an Al Vaughters who's an absolute sweetheart, but then you got one of the camera guys who's just an old crotchety bastard who's miserable, and it's just, and then there's everything in between, like you said.
Yeah.
You're telling me I gotta get this angle now?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, what do you mean I gotta go do this? I'm on lunch. I was like, well, cut the lunch short and go. I need you to go.
Jim, this is your third lunch today.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. You've been napping for 20 minutes. You're fine. So
with your eyes open.
Yeah, exactly. So I loved everybody I worked with, and I did. I got a chance to learn a lot from everybody, even like the younger talent too, the talent that was like my age.
Sure, yeah.
Because that's the thing too, is like you become a family. You're in the trenches. You see those people more than your actual family, right? So you're all, misery loves company, unfortunately, but you're all in it together. So it had just kind of got to like, I don't want to work here anymore. I don't see a future. It was just a job. So I had applied everywhere, man. If I like Lloyd Taco, Buff State.
Literally anything you could get.
I mean, right. Like literally, what do they call it? Like the Father Baker house and that. Like I'm like interviewing there for like a social media job. It was crazy. And finally, I get a call from David Adams. And it's a friend of mine that I had worked with my first stint there. He's been there a long time. Shout out Mike Sardellis. Excuse me. Shout out Mike Sardellis. But so he gives me a call, and he says, "Hey, we got this idea, and we want to do a morning show about cards, collectibles, all that, and we think you would be really good for it." I was like, wow, okay. But he's like, how soon do you need to be in? Like, how soon do you want to? And I was like, ASAP.
I'm ready right now.
ASAP. I'm like, I'll do it right now. So sure enough, we were able to work out a deal. They sent me an offer, and that was it. So December of 21, I was back at David Adams. It was crazy. It felt like a homecoming in a weird way. It really was.
Funny
it was
how the world works sometimes,
Yeah, exactly. It really was like a longtime player. Let's take like
there's
trying to
a few off the top of my
there's
head.
Give me somebody.
Shit.
Give me somebody who like played with a team for a long time, went away during a trade or a cap move, and then comes back. I'm trying to think.
Bro, it's like there's so many of them. Like if we weren't talking about this specifically, putting the spotlight on, I'd be able to go, this guy, this guy. Now that the bright lights are on us, yeah.
So think about
we get what you mean.
So think about it that way. It's like, it's a
welcome
player.
to the sports show.
It is
sports. Kick that touchdown, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, but it did. Just, I get there my first day, and I could almost tell off the bat, like, first day, I knew I made the right move to go back. Because it's just everybody, it was a ton of people I had used to work with, arms wide open, to quote Creed, and they brought me in.
Wide open.
Oh, where everything has changed.
Reminds me of Aaron Rodgers.
What?
Bad guy.
Great guy.
Great.
You're on the same.
Depends on who you ask.
You're on the same boat as him over here.
Yeah. See, well, he gets it. He's a grizzled vet, man. He's been around the game. He understands. He gets it. But
he's speechless.
Nothing to say. But yeah, so that was how I jumped back into it, and now since June, I'm sure Yarger told the story, but Yarger literally his first day at David Adams, he had been working for our subsidiary Hit Parade for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I believe you.
His first day with the David Adams side of thing, he gets put next to me on this show. So since last June,
Boom.
we've been doing this thing. And literally this morning, we just got done with episode 126.
Hey, once you hit that over 100 mark, man,
Yeah.
you're in.
You're in syndication.
You're
he
in,
knows. Once you hit episode 100, you're in syndication, baby. And that's how I feel. So, yeah, when we hit that 100 episode, like that's a
You guys
milestone
were like,
for
holy
anything.
shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it snuck up too. You know, the weeks go by and you're working on the next show. Unfortunately, sometimes you get to really bask in the moment,
Yeah.
but then other times you're like,
You're pretty much lost in it.
right. You know,
Like-
it's like one show's over. All right, I got to start working towards the next show.
Yep.
I got to start working towards the next stream.
Create
whatever else
the
we got going on.
content throughout the week, and then you're pretty much on the next one. It's very fast paced.
So yeah, so that's where we're at now. That's a little bit about how I got back to Dave and Adams. I know I said I was gonna try to not make it too long of a story, but
Listen,
You needed the details.
we're
though.
here. We're here to hear about you.
Kinda,
that's what I wanted to give you.
yeah,
I
it's
want-
kind
I
of hard
wanted
to
to-
tell the whole story without those details.
Right.
And
I tried to spare no expenses.
As you explained the whole thing, I seen the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So with that being said, you guys have been hitting the ground running, killing the content game. I loved your Kiss reel here for your.
Appreciate that.
You're promoting the. What pack were you breaking for Kiss?
Yeah. So excuse me. So
Breaking shit now.
yeah, my bad. I'm gonna have to pay for that. Just put it on my tab. I'll pay for that later.
Throw it on there.
Put it on Yager's tab. So for
Put it
next
on
time
Yager's
you come,
tab.
there you go.
There
Put
you
it
go.
on,
We'll
put it
have
on
him,
Yager's
we'll
tab.
have him on next week. Bring your money.
So, you know, it's funny you brought that up. It was one of those things where we've been doing the show, but I think I finally just realized that I wanted to show my work. Something like clicked in me. I don't know what it was, and it's not like I was being complacent. I really was trying my best, you know, trying my hardest at the show.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, you know what? I want to. You know, I'm a small fish in a really big pond right now.
Really big. Maybe C.
Maybe potentially
Maybe
ocean.
sea.
Sea, ocean.
We get it.
Yeah, you can visualize it. I like to paint pictures for people. Not
Ross.
actually though. Yeah, Bob Ross style. Not actually though. I suck. I could draw like stick people.
Nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
all right.
But I really just something like I don't know what it is, but I'm like I want to be a big player in this game. I want people to take me seriously. I want people to think I actually know what I'm talking about. Right? I want to be a part of this hobby and not just some Joe Schmo who interviews other people that know about the hobby. I love doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I absorb more knowledge by talking to these people.
That's right.
But I also want to make my own path. I want to blaze my own trail. And I want to be a name in the hobby. So
Troy LeCastro.
I like that. It's like a movie. That was a movie trailer voice. That was good.
Troy
This
LeCastro.
summer.
Yeah.
This summer.
I was gonna say, if I need some voiceover work for like,
Call me up, man. I'm open for work.
he's open.
I'm open.
So yeah, I just started finding stuff on our website, or just I've been really working hard to just maybe a new release, whatever's coming out next week. So the thing that you mentioned was honestly a passion project for me. It was. I got really into it because I was raised on Kiss, right? Like one of the first records I ever heard as a 3-4-year-old is my dad is playing Kiss Alive records at our house on Weston Avenue in the Falls, right off of High
Oh,
Park.
shit, that's where we're from.
Word?
What a small world.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What block?
29th.
So I was High Park Boulevard.
That's just wild.
That's so
unbelievable.
crazy.
Just across the street, you know.
Not a big deal.
Not a big
and like we never cross paths.
What the fuck? We probably did. Now we don't even know.
Well, not to get the Italian going here and
Hey,
start
hey,
doing
hey,
the family.
How's the family?
hey.
Oh, not to start doing the family tree, but like, oh, you know so how they doing?
Yeah.
But you know who
That's also
actually-
Niagara Falls, though.
that's so Niagara Falls.
Dude.
I was like, oh, you know this person? Oh, I know this person. Oh.
So I'm saying,
That's
you
my
want-
cousin.
You want to talk?
I don't want to say it, but yeah, you said it.
You want to talk about like Pond Sea,
Yeah.
like the falls, even though it's the biggest, large body of water.
A bunch of
Smalls.
three-eyed fish.
Yeah, well,
What?
if you're in Love Canal, you gotta be careful there.
High Park Lake too, man.
But actually, do you guys know the Lansberries, Justine and Kayla?
Yeah,
you know that
I
name?
know.
Do you know that
Justine,
name?
Yeah.
Their parents bought my parents' house on Weston.
This is
The yellow one, right?
Yep.
Jesus.
That's my parent. That was my old house.
Not to put their location out there.
Yeah,
but
no.
Hey, sorry about it.
Sorry about it. Just tune that out.
Just
Let's just hope that there's like several yellow houses on Weston, and we'll be all right.
It should
hey,
be.
yo,
at
you
least.
guys see this podcast too? They're calling your house out.
Hey, I just heard you from the Tank Talk podcast. I want
Hey,
to come
man.
check it out. This is where Troy
Hey,
grew
it's
up.
pretty cool. Yeah, you mind if I take a look around? Y'all got any snacks? You mind if I just grab one?
There any Kiss records laying around?
Yeah. So yeah, the kid. Love that we get off on tangent. I love this.
Welcome to the
We
show.
tried to tell you.
This is my kind of manic, though. This is my kind of
This
manic.
is the
this is
program, man. I mean, you came in. We pretty much just went through the whole pre-production of the show in like 5 minutes. This is how it works.
This is good. No, I love it. I want to be spontaneous. I don't want like pre-planned.
That's
That's why I'm always stuttering and
Yeah.
shit. My mind moves faster than my mouth.
Yeah,
dude.
I
all
agree.
the time.
That's why Maranto, before the show started, he goes, "Oh, game starts at 9:20. I'm sure we'll just be getting home by then."
You're lucky if you're home by 10 at this point.
Sometimes we'll just be going for like 2-hour tangents, and he'll just get up and go do something else.
You know. Yeah, that's why I came up with that nice thing with the 3 camera shots in one grid. I can go.
So he could just
I
go
can
up.
go to the bathroom.
Yeah, right.
Take a phone call. You know.
Talk about Aaron Rodgers. Like, all right, fucking
Yeah,
hell.
I'm out.
Across the street to get a beer at Griffin Pub.
There you go.
Hey.
Hey, free ads there.
Boom.
Free ads.
No advertising. Hey, we gotta take it easy on that. We gotta be paying. Seriously, just don't. Whatever you do on your break, don't go to Chipotle because Troy ran into an issue coming in there.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if he really wants to get
Let's,
into that, but
Let me tell the Kiss thing first, real quick.
yeah. Okay, let's get back.
And
to
then-
this.
and
One
we'll-
story at a time.
One story
here.
at a time. Yeah, I got it for my own stream of thought. Because I could go off for
I'm sure.
like tangents, but
Welcome
so
to the show.
appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Long time, first time caller, long time listener. So when we have a guy named Reed Kasaoka, and basically what he does is goes around the country, and he's buying big collections from different types of people, right? And different types of thing, whether it's modern product or it's vintage stuff. So Reed has a whole page on the website, Reed's Buy. Check that out, dacarwell.com/Reed's Buy, I think it is. So every once in a while, I'll take myself over there and see what he's got.
Check it out.
So sure enough, I come across it's one single pack. That's the thing, not even a whole box. It's one pack of 1978 Donruss wax pack bubblegum Kiss.
You had to get it.
And I looked at it and I go, what is this? So that started the immediate research. And that's the thing. These are research papers for me. So I'm having fun learning, but I'm also hoping that I can create a piece that's creative and educational in one and give that to the people, and hopefully they
Pick something
see
up
it.
from it.
Right. And hopefully they see it like I do. So the Kiss one, man, I mean, I'm throwing in, song references. I'm throwing, it meant a lot to me. And like to be able to send that to my dad and be like, so full circle, right? Just be like,
Yeah.
look what I did. And he's like, that's great.
This is your product.
Yeah,
right
you basically led me to this point. So I appreciate you saying that because that one was really near and dear to my heart so far. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. I hope to just continue to do more.
And that's like different, man. I mean, a lot of people are just going straight to like football, basketball, baseball. Those are the main points there.
Yeah.
But something like that's unique, and that's what makes you stand out from the rest. And that type of content that'll put you on the map for sure.
I appreciate that, and that's kind of the character that I'm building. Obviously I'm Troy LeCastro at the end of the day. I always try to do a little what you see is what you get, right? I try
As
not
you
to
should,
be anybody else when the red light's not on.
That's right.
But with working in this industry, you work with a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters,
100%.
good and bad. But you know what? That's the thing is people are creative. It's trial and error, and they find their niche. And some of it works. Like I interviewed a guy who literally breaks UFC cards, and not while he's breaking, but when he makes on-camera appearances and stuff, he wears a chicken mask.
Okay.
And he's over. And this guy's over.
They love
You know
it.
what I mean? Like they love him.
And it's just like it's like accidental shit, and like you don't even think about it. You just do it, and it blows up. Like
Yeah.
when you plan for stuff, Typically, when that happens, you don't really get the results you want, but it could just be from accidental. Like, we create a lot of content. We call ourselves like a clip show.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Just it's hilarious stuff. So
It's usually when we go on our little tangent stuff.
Oh, I
no
can't.
reason.
man.
I can't wait.
So
I think this is gonna have some clips. I think this is gonna be clippable.
our big one was when Super Bowl week. We were talking about Lane Johnson and everything. Dylan, he was just mesmerized. His favorite player is Lane Johnson at this point, probably. Just went off on all
Has
that.
to be.
Just blew up. And I'm like, that's not what our point of this episode was supposed to be. We had an Eagles fan as trying to get us share us like his insight on the team.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Fucking Lane Johnson compared to Pete Davidson.
Oh man, old
Yeah.
butthole eyes, as I like to
Yeah.
call Pete Davidson.
Is that what you call him?
Yeah, somebody called him that. I think I stole that, but I liked it, so I ran with it.
I can see
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, so like now,
You got to
listen.
be unique.
I like sports. Don't get me wrong. I like all the 4 major sports. Now, am I a hardcore guy where can you give me the 2016 top 5 draft picks and I can just rattle them off to you? Nope.
2016.
I'll be completely honest with you. Well,
Me neither.
I figured it out.
I seen your video.
Yes.
You posted that one too.
So-
I just remember now that you mentioned, I do
Uh-huh.
remember. Yeah, you guys
Uh-huh.
did that. Yep.
So we put it up on TikTok, and I got ripped. I
Sure.
got shredded to pieces, and they're calling us casuals. And you know what? We thought we got pissed off. We're like, listen here,
Who do you
like,
think you are,
well,
pal?
we're like, listen here, Chris 42069 calling me a casual.
Boom.
You like 12-year-old. Sorry, family. Is this a family program?
Hell
it's
no.
The absolute opposite. I'm the opposite, actually.
If anything, you should put the kids to bed before you listen to this. Yeah.
No, listen, our TikTok,
YouTube channel.
yeah, our TikTok, people will comment just stupid shit. They think we're not going to respond.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
So I felt like instead of taking this in a negative tone, I'm like, if you think I'm a casual, I'm gonna give you a casual.
Check this out.
So now I'm trying to be like this casual fan. Like I can tell you like weird vintage shit, like early 2000s and late 90s football. Hell yeah. Same with like baseball and that. Obviously I try to keep up with current stuff, but I'm just trying things.
gotta
Right? So
get-
I'm trying
you're-
this character.
you're
Dude,
giving-
he's just a guy, all right?
Just a guy.
You're giving the
This guy's
people what they
being
want.
He casually gets
Hopefully.
in, turns on TV. Bam, there's a sports game on. All right, I don't know any of these players besides maybe there's a superstar right there. Besides him, I don't know shit.
These guys ain't like Ken Griffey, man. I'll tell you
Boom.
that.
brother, I tell you, sweetest swing in baseball. Ain't everybody ever gonna do it again like that guy. Yeah, he was the kid, still is.
Pat
Too bad
Mahomes,
Dylan's not here, man.
dude.
Speaking of past baseball, how you feel about steroids?
Made the game fun.
This is
There we go, bam.
This is whenever we bring up baseball, this is the main point of
Which
conversation.
camera? Should I look into this one?
I think you're on the Sony.
Which one should I? This one?
That one, the little one.
Bring steroids back to baseball. That's what made it entertaining. Give me
Please.
steroid era ball. Chuck Knobloch, Adam Dunn,
Fucking
McGuire,
imagine?
Sosa.
Wire,
Aaron Jones,
Barry
Aaron Jones, Aaron Judge.
Sosa.
Dude,
Sosa.
you imagine Aaron Judge on fucking steroids?
That's what I mean. Like, what? Number one, what was probably the last like really fun era of baseball? That summer when McGuire and Sosa were chasing Maris.
Back and forth. Mm-hmm.
Back and forth.
So last time
Amazing.
was
They
relevant.
said, "Hey, watch this." Boom.
Secondly, Aaron Judge. I don't even know how he would fit into a uniform.
That's what I'm saying.
Ever.
He's already what, like 6'8"? Fucking
He would be massive.
dude.
He already is massive.
Honestly, Trips would probably be calling him up, be like,
Oh, no doubt.
"Yeah, you want a
away
Mania
from
match,
baseball."
brother?
Hey, we just dropped our policy here. Take
Dropped
whatever the hell
our-
you want.
We ain't testing you. Don't worry."
We just got bought out by Endivore. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. If there's anything to take away from that bit is, bring steroids back.
Thank you.
Bring
Let
it back.
them, let them fly.
Glad we're all on the same page here.
Literally, if you want to help your teammate shoot up in their ass, go for it. It makes the game fun.
Hey, coach, what's over there? Got him.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, I feel like I hear somebody calling you over there.
I feel stronger, brother. It's him running through my veins. Let's go
God
fucking
damn.
hit some dingers. Anyway, we got on the topic of wrestling.
What?
Just coming off of WrestleMania weekend.
What?
Obviously, we got to talk about the main event. We kind of got into it before the show started.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to get too into it.
What's your thoughts here? Hey,
Listen,
this is open space.
as a
It's a
Cody
safe place.
as a Cody Mark, I'll admit it, huge Cody Mark. Okay, like I was
Huge.
Where the hell is your
Itch.
tattoo, bro?
Can't see it. I have it covered up. I have it covered up right here.
He's not trying to get sued, dude. Come on.
Yeah, no,
Smart.
no copyright infringement.
Yeah.
And no free ads for Cody even.
No free ads,
Even though I'm a
bam.
mark. But, I thought when Cody left as Stardust and went on his own journey, I guess, if you will, and, bet on himself.
Yeah.
He talks about it in his promos. Don't get me wrong. Some of his promos got repetitive with the family and the going on your,
sure.
But
That's his character, though.
exactly. It is his
Trying to
character.
stick
he's
to
built
it.
off of.
Biggest white meat baby face out there on the face of the earth. You know what I'm
Whoa.
saying,
Has
brother? But he was great on the Indies. I loved his run in Ring of Honor as the champion. I thought he was great as a heel. Obviously, the Bullet Club stuff, the Elite stuff, and then making AEW.
Branching off his own promotion.
I was an AEW guy, but when he announced that he was coming back to WWE, it made sense. It made sense in my opinion.
It's like a welcome home moment.
Once again, there you go. Perfect example.
Full
There's
circle.
a guy.
Full circle. There we
Full
go.
circle. We found we
Figured-
found our link.
Figured it out.
We found
Figured
the
it out.
missing link. So, I was stoked, and obviously the injury kind of sidetracked him. But
That was also awesome. He wrestled with that.
oh my god, that match on the Meltzer scale, I think I ended up getting
5 stars.
5 stars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5-star match.
I think that was the
Match
first
of the year,
WWE's. I think it was. I can't remember. I forgot the official title, but that was their first 5-star match in 12 years since that point.
Yeah, Meltzer hates WWE.
He can't stand them.
Can't stand him. But he can't. But on the Cody thing, because as I say, Meltzer can't deny what's going on right now. He can't,
I don't
as
know
much
how-
as he
yeah.
wants to try. But I thought the build-up was fantastic. The only thing I didn't like was I thought we knew Cody was coming back, right? I think we should have left it as a surprise at number 3.
Yeah, they kind of slapped it in our faces.
I
They said, "Oh, Cody's back. All right, he's actually gonna be number 30. He's actually gonna
And
win."
he's gonna win.
right. Because the thing is everybody's going to buy and watch Royal Rumble no matter what, right? It didn't matter if Cody was announced or not announced.
Yeah.
The buy rates were still going to be there. People, the stream rate, whatever, the numbers were going to be there. But I thought the build was excellent. I will say that not even this storyline, but this is the first time in a long time for me that I actually actively went out of my way to try to tune into at least Raw. I didn't really always get SmackDown just because Friday nights
Tough.
Yeah.
are tough. But this is I actively tried to at least keep up with it, the build to WrestleMania. So I love this build. I thought the promos were great.
Phenomenal.
Obviously, you could tell they weren't being written for them. Those are
Yeah,
two
that
top
was
dogs that you're going to just
Let
go
'em
out
rip,
there.
yeah.
And, the thing was I was a Roman guy, or, I was a Roman hater. I was one who thought, they're making him like Cena, where they're force feeding him to us.
Yeah, that
I was on
good.
the same boat. Even what was it when they did the brand split in 2016? It was just felt like every week, boom, this is our guy, this is our guy, this is our guy, whether you like it or not, this is our guy.
Yeah.
You better like him. And then I feel like the tide started to slowly shift after he left for leukemia when he got diagnosed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh
unfortunate-
shit, now we feel bad hating this guy.
Yeah.
Some conspiracy built in that, but Dylan's a big conspiracy guy, so I'm sure he could.
I'd love to hear that one. I'd love to hear that one time.
So if you do a quick Google search, I'm sure shit will pop up. But yeah, it felt like every week they're just throwing him right in your face, like, oh, this is our baby face now.
Right. But, him as a heel, this bloodline stuff, unbelievable.
Nothing ever like it.
I saw somebody tweet it, but I almost think it shouldn't be a joke. I mean, obviously I know it's professional wrestling, but people are like, this is Emmy-worthy stuff.
100%.
It's
And
like you feel it.
you do.
Like you put it on, you're like, oh, all right, it's wrestling. Then they come on the screen, you're like, oh my god,
And that's
I'm in this.
that's what I'm saying. And you could call it a male soap opera, but that's the idea is they're trying to invoke emotion out of you. And
Yeah.
And they're getting it.
right.
Whether you like them or you hate them, you feel some type of way about them.
Right.
You know?
And that's the thing is, it's not – people focus too much on, it's guys who are, wet, just slapping bodies against each other. But there's so much more to it than that.
more into
it's
it.
a business. It's storytelling. It goes a lot deeper than – it's not one-dimensional.
Right.
It's obviously
Super not.
multi-dimensional. And some people don't understand that. But I think this story, that main event, brought in those casual fans, and even they were hooked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had lunch with one of my coworkers today, and he asked, he went out of his way, and he's like, "What'd you think of Mania?" He's like, I don't really tune in. He's like, but I watched the main event last night. He's
Yeah.
like, you know
Because
what?
everyone had to. They were invested.
You had absolutely. And
He's like, what the hell did I miss this past year?
Yeah, basically.
honestly. And I will say that with all the pomp and circumstance around it, like Cody's grandiose entrance, I mean, him hugging and kissing his wife and his daughter and his family, and
Yeah.
Brody Lee's kid right there. He gives him
Yeah.
the weight belt.
I didn't see that one coming. That shit hit me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it to me it was a genuine holy shit moment. Like I looked like Brock Lesnar guy, right? When his mat hit 3, I was like,
Fucking bug eyed.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. We sat in silence.
I was just laughing. I'm like, all this build, everything, the whole entrance built around the story. I got to finish the story. And I had a feeling this whole time, like, maybe they're not going to give it to him. Why? Like, all this build, literally, you ask any wrestling fan, it's Cody, it's Cody, it's
Yeah.
Cody, it's Cody. I'm like, they've done this before. You get everyone on one side, and they're going to come and switch it up on you.
But who else was going to beat him, though?
Now, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm
they
saying.
had Sammy for even more emotional support with him. I got to understand. All right, turn that down. But we got Cody now. And the build up to that made you think, all right, this is a baby face we could all get behind.
Yep.
He could be a face of the company with Roman, but give him the belts, that's fine.
Give
Then,
Roman his time.
Boom.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a thing where I thought Roman was going to take some time off. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought
top
so,
dog through the second half of COVID, and then into the era where you had fans back. I
Mhm.
mean, this guy's doing he's the top dog. He's doing media,
Literally doing
he's doing
everything.
all this. I would have thought they want to give him a little bit of break, but you and I were talking before we started recording that I will say that after Triple H's press conference last night, a little bit of sleep. I think I see it. Sometimes I think wrestling fans are not patient, myself
Oh,
included.
definitely not. Especially in today's day and age.
Yeah, you want instant gratification in the age
Boom.
of social media and that you want it now.
Yep.
Right? And the internet wrestling community is such a toxic place. honestly.
Super.
Terrible.
It's bad because I'm not gonna name names, but
Go
even
ahead if you have to.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna name names, but I started following a guy
Yeah.
that I had one-off met, and I'm like, oh, this guy, wrestling fan seems
Pretty
cool.
cool, yeah.
And I'm just, I'm reading his tweets, and I'm like, dude, it's entertainment, sports entertainment. I know it's
Just take it easy.
Yeah, we like. Some people just feel like it's still real to me, damn it, guy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But
Like, oh, my guy didn't win. It's the end of the world.
It's still real to me, damn it.
yeah, Mr. Funk, I just want to thank y'all for putting your bodies on the line. That video is iconic.
Well, that was like a Tosh point. Oh,
Yeah. He did the redemption, right?
He
Didn't
he did the redemption. Yeah.
Um,
So, throwing it back a little bit there.
a little TBT, even though it's Monday. But I will say that
Yeah. I don't know.
Monday,
that's fine.
make it throw vintage Monday. I don't know.
I like vintage money. I like
Vintage Monday. Boom.
Memory Monday.
Memory Monday. There it is.
Oh,
We just
man.
did something.
You're good. You're good. Quick.
That's how the show works.
Quick. I like that.
Got to make shit up on the fly.
Get it trending. Hashtag Memory Monday.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, get that trending. Get that copyrighted. That's all right. That's
And
Thursday.
we're good. We only ever got to record a
Boom.
show again.
That's Tank Talk right there. That's all Tank Talk.
Shout out.
But yeah, Triple H last night after he was like, "This is just the end of a chapter."
It's WrestleMania. Have to, yeah.
It's a chapter, and I was like, "Okay, Triple H,
Yeah. He's
you
on
haven't
something.
steered me wrong." Okay, Paul.
All right, Paul.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna use your
Paul.
shoot name. I'm gonna use your
See,
government name.
CEO Levesque.
After he said that, I was like, "All right, you haven't steered us wrong yet." But man, they are milking everything they can.
So,
out of this story.
SummerSlam.
Right.
I don't even
Think he
know.
wins it done?
I don't even know.
I would say a couple theories. Well, like one, obviously, looking back at last night, I think it's, hey, we want to get Roman to 1,000 days, right?
100%. 100%.
Well, because his character's being the GOAT. So
Exactly.
they're trying to Back that up a little bit more now.
What's Bruno San Martino's? It's like 1,200 something.
Something to that effect.
He's getting that.
Yeah.
You think he'll touch that one?
After last
night?
Yeah.
He has to. They have to give it to him.
But you know what I thought was interesting? Is
what do you think was interesting?
Here's what I thought was interesting. Let me tell you something, brother.
What?
Talking about SummerSlam is, I feel like there's two lines of thought where Cody gets there and finishes this story.
Yeah.
Or somebody made a good point to me. Now, this is fantasy booking, obviously a little more far-fetched, but, do they put Jay against Roman? Does Jay go over? Is Jay the one who beats Roman?
Wow. That'd be crazy.
And that brings it back to, what was it? I think that was Roman's first feud as the tribal chief.
Yep.
To finally get his family on his side.
Yeah.
They could be onto something there. Because there's a few different scenarios I thought they were going to take last night. Jay being one, coming out, when they take the ref out, they come in, take whoever his opponent's out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be okay, they bring Jay in. Jimmy's in there, jumping Cody, whatever, beating the hell out of him. And Jay's kind of iffy, man, I'm kind of sick of doing this shit for him.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be one of those type of things. So that kind of makes sense.
And too, I think to me it's a fantastic time to be a fan. That's why I don't think we can gripe because you're gonna do it anyways. But you can't really bitch too much because I can't remember a time where you had a top heel like Roman, and you had three white hot guys chasing him, possibly Jay, Sammy, and Cody.
Well, you even had Drew at Clash at the Castle.
That's a good point, too.
That too.
People loved him winning there.
Kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
He does. But, I don't know if you wanted to still talk about the main event, but I was thinking
we're here to talk about it, man.
Well, I don't want to take over the conversation. This is Tank Talk. But I was going to say that McIntyre, Walter, I can't call him Gunther. It sounds so weird. That McIntyre, Walter.
It grew on me, man, because I was the same way.
Yeah.
I was the same way originally. I'm like, Gunther's kind of clean.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
What?
I don't know what it means.
It's even worse. You know what, too? It's worse that you read it, and you read it
Gunther.
as Gunther.
Yeah.
They pronounce it Gunther.
Shout out Sam Irvin, bro. She's the one that put it over for me.
Gunther!
Yeah, hell of a job.
But,
how'd she say the other guy's name? Leo Da Vinci. What's his name?
Giovanni
Vinci.
Don't know.
She's the GOAT.
That was the one thing I was hoping. Obviously Triple H gave Austin Theory his first name back. He gave Matt Riddle his first name back.
Yeah, he's trying to
Walter
undo
I'm
the
like,
wrongs.
go back to Walter.
I feel like, I don't
Gunther. I'm
know.
like, what the fuck?
If he wasn't so far in his IC title run,
Right.
I feel like, and he wasn't doing much, maybe.
For sure.
But he's already solidifying himself as Gunther now on this run, so I don't know. I like it. I don't mind it.
I mean, that's very minuscule. That's a very minuscule internet wrestling community complaint. I love Walter. I'm still gonna say Walter. I love Walter. All right. But that was a match where, since it got put together, I was looking forward to it, and it was everything I expected. I would say more. I mean, obviously the Walter Sheamus match at Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
And then
banger
obviously
after banger
after
banger after banger.
And that's what they did. To me, that was fantastic piece of WrestleMania where they just literally beat the shit out of each other for 20, 25 minutes. And I was hooked the entire time.
I thought Sheamus knocked Drew McIntyre out for a minute. Remember when he had him on the ropes doing his clubs?
Oh, yeah, and he came.
Drew
just kept coming.
Drew slipped. He fucking clocked him right in the. If he would have moved literally a point second earlier, he would have been knocked out cold. He would have been looking like Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
That's a guy.
That is a guy.
Ladder thrown to the head. I was kind of mad they stopped it. I know this is like a fan in me saying that, not caring about the human being out there.
He got staples.
That's
during the match.
You hear about that?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get
That's
to him.
another guy. I'm
upset he didn't get involved, but
so you bring up that match and Finn. So this is the boomer in me. I got a little boomer in me where I said the same thing. This is prior to knowing how bad he got split open.
Yeah.
prior to him knowing how bad he got split open, I'm watching this match, and I'm like, why are we cutting away?
I said the same
Just
thing.
show it.
I said the
Right?
same
If he's
thing.
bleeding a little bit, just show it.
Yeah.
Little did I know. I saw that picture of the gash on his
Oh
head this
my
morning,
God.
and I'm like, I guess that's understandable.
Y'all might have a point.
Okay.
I think you guys you're onto something here.
Yeah,
But-
yesterday was wild. Continue what you were going to say.
No, I was just gonna say, but I thought that was another solid match.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, fucking. I tweeted. I said, hashtag, let him bleed, dude. Let this guy bleed. He's in hell in a cell. We're stopping it.
Get some color.
And then,
Advance the story.
and then Corey Graves the whole time he's like, "Oh, the demon, nothing can stop him. It doesn't matter." Like putting him over as the demon.
Yeah.
And then that happens. He's like, we gotta care about these athletes, man. I'm like, you're right, but
And then he went back to, oh yeah, he's the demon. We're seeing,
not even blood can stop him.
yeah, it was just like you gotta at least
Just
stick
pick
to
one.
something.
I want to ask you guys. If you know, I'm gonna flip the script
ahead,
here,
dude.
but I want
Go
to
ahead.
ask you guys.
That's the host in you.
Hi. Welcome to Tank Talk. This Mania, probably in terms of build and delivery, was one of the best of recent years by far, and it's up there for me. I would say as an all-timer, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones.
It's wild because I said that about last year.
Did you see?
Between Brock and Roman, even Stone Cold kind of teasing Kevin Owens, teasing him.
Yeah.
That was going on for almost like half a year. It felt like. Seth Rollins and Cody. We knew it was Cody.
Yeah,
Knew it.
They they tried to steer away from it, but we knew. And
They're
just-
very obvious with him.
I was just like those
Super.
yeah, no kidding.
They said, you know what? Okay, you know who it is.
The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. But I don't know. But I feel like as each year goes on, it just keeps getting better and better. And now under Triple H's wing, I think the sky's the limit now.
True, and that's the thing. You know, this being his first. You know, he's had a lot of firsts. His first Rumble, his first Mania. Now as him in charge of creative.
Even
I
though
thought
Sunday felt like a Vince style type of card, but
A little.
a little bit. Even though word came out, he had nothing to do with it.
I think he just kind of threw it back to his style, kind of mixed the two styles together,
Yeah.
which is kind of where wrestling's going now.
Yeah. Nonetheless, though, we're talking about under Triple H's wing. He's like been killing it.
Yeah.
The report came out today. They made double the amount of ad revenue than they did last year because the individual matches had their own sponsorships. I think it came out to be $20 million just off of sponsorships.
Damn.
And then like the numbers for social media, the highlight videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
What else was it? The attendance, I believe, just for 2 nights combined or whatever it was. A few other things too. Broke the record for each one, each category. So,
Because I think he has a little more knowledge of how social media works.
Yep.
And also,
I
he's
can
a
see
wrestler,
that.
so he knows storylines and that part.
Yeah.
And then the business side, because he's working under Vince for the last however many years, 10 or so.
Yep.
It's like
which
he,
is wild. to
he
think
got
about.
it all.
Right.
He got it all, really.
Yeah, and you know, I look at it 2 ways. Obviously, I look at it one way from the business standpoint. Obviously, we talked about this too, real quick. But like 2 nights from a business standpoint, it makes complete sense
Phenomenal,
because
yeah.
then you see them doubling the revenue. Obviously, you want to get all these ads, and you know, obviously make as much money as you can, especially
Right.
on the Showcase of the Immortals, the grandest stage of them all. But from the fan perspective, here's a couple things. One, Rey Mysterio comes out, and there's a goddamn Cinnamon Toast Crunch emoji person in a suit just dancing like an asshole.
I forgot about that.
And then, like, so the main event rolls around, and it's the TurboTax, and I'm like, pardon my French, but I'm like, well, what the fuck? Is somebody going to be in a W-2 costume, like, dancing out there? What are we doing?
IRS comes out.
Yeah. And then, you know, from that standpoint, too, Charlotte Rhea, probably one of, if not the greatest women's match ever that we've seen. It
I
was
agree.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you're just emotionally drained after that, right? Like,
Have you done your
went-
taxes?
And then the tax commercial comes on. I'm like, I was like, what a weird transition. What a weird transition.
Tax, hey, Vince is just looking out for everybody, man. Just, they don't want the IRS to come and get you.
No, right.
You don't want Bray Wyatt's dad knocking at your door.
Which is funny though, because the TurboTax line, like their new thing they're doing is don't do your taxes.
Yeah.
They're like,
No.
let us do it for you, but they're like, don't do your taxes. So that's
They have a pause in the middle of that too. Like, don't
Right.
do your taxes. We'll do it for you.
exactly.
And I'm
exactly.
like, what are we doing?
Try to live like Drake.
But yeah, but obviously, it makes sense from a business standpoint why they do 2 nights.
Yeah,
And he was able to put together 2
phenomenal,
really good
phenomenal
cards.
cards.
We talked about that Fatal 4-Way too. That
The
Fatal
tag
4-Way
match.
men's tag match.
I thought that was just like a random throw together. Okay,
Yeah.
these guys need something to do.
Exactly.
Boom, here we go.
And they ended up going out there and like another just absolute banger.
And do you think going into that, when they were building this card, like they probably didn't think it was going to live up to that
No.
or go up and
No way.
up and beyond? You know,
Yeah. I don't think there's no way in my opinion. Like
Well,
yeah.
because it was a second match, right?
Yes.
Think
Usually
so.
that's like the worst match.
they always say you're always going to remember the first and last.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is kind of just falling into the shuffle. But yeah, I think that was a second match. That Ricochet flip outside, man.
Holy
Ricochet.
shit.
Someone who I don't know if you guys agree that I think is just ridiculously underappreciated.
Yeah.
How about Gable throwing Braun Strowman?
Oh my
With
God.
that
Gable
German?
falls under that category as well. Entertaining
Gable
as hell.
for sure.
Could go in there and wrestle with the best of them, put anybody over.
Oh yeah.
Anybody.
Guy works. Great
Fills his
worker.
role
He also sells
like hell.
Yeah.
like hell.
And that's another guy too. I was talking to somebody, and Shorty G was absolute drizzling shits. But you give that guy a gimmick, and he can
He's
get
gonna
it over.
run
Made it
yeah.
work, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Like
gonna
this,
hit
the
ground
whole
running.
shoosh thing.
That's amazing.
Who would have thought that would have got over?
I don't think
you know
that's ever going away. It should.
I hope not.
It shouldn't.
No. Keep him like that.
I potentially thought they were going to break him up with the whole Otis male model,
yeah.
but I'm glad they brought him back around. That was a cool little, it was like side missions in like video games. I felt like that
Little
was
side
like,
quest.
Yeah, I feel like that was like one of those.
Otis becoming a male model, little side quest, and didn't work out.
He
Dude,
unlocked
the
some
ladies
cool
love him
glasses
between
and some poses.
Mandy Rose and then Maxine, dude. This
Yeah.
guy's a
Hey.
stud.
Absolute stud. He's a sex icon. That Otis.
He said, "You know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the photo shoot."
Yeah, I don't. I love his voice too, just like everything. But yeah, that tag match was.
Let me ask you
another
this though: what the winner gets a tag team title opportunity? I couldn't remember. We tried to talk
That's the
about this over
thing.
the weekend.
I have no clue. I have zero clue. What it was
Because I think
for.
they hinted at it in commentary during the match, but I'm like, I'm not 100% sure. I feel like we would have known.
Because I know it is for the women's.
Is
I'm
it?
pretty
Okay,
sure.
It
Probably,
was?
probably the same for the
I
men.
think so.
Because them calling it a showcase match, I'm just thinking, oh, okay, we're just
yeah.
throwing teams together, go out there.
Just seeing what team's good here.
Yeah, throw some
At
poop
the
at the wall,
top.
see what sticks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over under on the tear shed during the Rey Mysterio Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
I'll be honest with you, I was not around Friday. I saw.
Oh.
Listen, I had to see Devin Levi get his first win in a Sabres unit.
Shout out to Devin
Yeah.
Levi. We seen
Shout
that.
out the kid, Devin Levi. Unbelievable. So I'll be honest with you, I didn't see it, but I thought that was brilliant how they had Rhea and Dom sit while
Yes.
he walked out, and then when he started his speech, they got up and left.
And let him do the rest.
And let
You know
him-
what was crazy, though? He said, man, I'm not an emotional guy, but y'all are about to make me cry. And then Dom said, you know what?
All right.
He said, I'm out.
Fuck you, Dad.
Sick your shit, Dad.
Sick of your deadbeat attitude. Get out of here.
You didn't have these emotions with me. You didn't care about me.
How was Dylan was here? He can't fucking stand
He
down.
hates him.
Really?
Can't stand
Yeah.
him.
So that means he's doing his job right then. If Dylan can't stand him,
Yeah.
he's doing his job.
Dylan's number one all-time hater. Don't bring up when your Dylan's around. Don't bring up Dominic Mysterio. Don't bring up Kyler Murray. Which other guy fucking grinds his gears that you can think of off the top? Those are the main two.
You know what you got to do right now?
I can't think of anyone else.
You got a fantasy book, and you got to put Kyler and Dom in a match, and somebody has to win, and just let him go.
Next
Let him go.
episode, here we
Just-
go.
Yeah, I'm giving. Yeah, that first one's free. First
The
idea is free.
showcase of
Appreciate
the
it.
immortals.
Literally. Yeah, well, it basically would be Dom versus his dad, anyways. If you put Kyler in there,
And he did
Basically.
great. Imagine him and Kyler.
unreal. But did you cry during the Mysterio thing? Because
teared
somebody
up
was
a little
telling me
bit.
Conan was unbelievable too.
He was.
Conan, now that they brought back LWO, I think he's got to be a part of it somehow.
Which is funny
Manager?
because
He might have just got rehired after that.
that's what I'm wondering because I don't know if you guys know, but like off the top of my head, like I'd have to do research. I don't know if Conan's ever worked for WWE technically.
Technically,
I don't think so.
Because I
Literally
think after
everywhere else.
because I was gonna say I think after his WCW ran out, he went
Oh,
to
we got
TNA.
a laptop right here.
And then he started the 3 Live Crew in TNA with R-Truth and Road Dogg,
That's
with
right.
BG James. So Conan getting hired, like if he got hired by WWE, I think that would be a first for him. Maybe he did some backstage work, but I don't think he's ever been an on-screen character in WWE.
Probably not.
1992. So I just pulled up real quick. The people who ask section came up on Google. Said their question was Conan in WWE? So let's a little tidbit on Wikipedia. After 3 televised matches, Conan abruptly left the WWF following a disagreement with WWF owner Vince McMahon in 1992. So,
Oh,
That's how it usually goes.
yeah.
and that was probably
Shout out
honestly.
Ultimate Warrior.
Shout out. But again, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Go ahead and watch this Dark Side of the Ring special on Hulu.
Those are some of the best.
You know,
Those are.
they got to start making more episodes, man.
I'm looking forward to it. I know. I think they're on. I'm assuming they'll get renewed, and then I think it'll be season 4.
The Chris Benoit one is what got me in there.
Crazy.
The 2-part one.
I was hooked.
Yeah.
And that one, even the Brian Pillman one was interesting too.
That shit was wild. And like I knew of him and like his character and everything. I didn't know that much like of the backstory going into it. It blew my mind, man. This dude.
Yeah. And another crazy one is that I don't know if you guys like. I don't know if you're like me or you're normal.
Or
But if you're like me, you go on YouTube rabbit holes and you start watching shoot interviews from old wrestlers, and they talk about that plane ride from hell.
yes, that episode. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Yo.
That was nuts. That shit got Tommy Dreamer canceled for a cup of coffee after that episode.
Yeah.
What did he do
Bad.
again? For those that may not know, listen.
For those who may not know who's listening, Tommy Dreamer kind of in a way stood up for Ric Flair and something Ric Flair did that he very much shouldn't have done. So in this day and age,
Something Ric Flair would.
yeah, Ric Flair. Let's just say
Knowing
Ric
his
Flair.
character,
Yeah,
right?
Loan him.
he had one of his
Just
robes
saying,
on.
Just saying, boys will be boys.
So check this out.
Yeah, yep.
Woo!
Naka. Hey, brother. Oldest ride along his line.
You want to check this out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I don't
was-
even know how we got onto that, but
Don't know.
We love tangents.
Yeah.
this is
This
the show.
show.
Tank
We love
Talk
that.
Tangents.
Tank talk tangents.
new
Say that
segment.
10 times fast.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I can't even talk normally. I don't know how I could.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah, we have a podcast, and that's all about talking.
It's all right. We're doing well right
We're
now.
doing
I think,
all right.
I think we're doing all right.
I think we're
doing
doing
decent.
Maranta, how we
Right.
doing? We're
Not
doing
too
okay.
shabby.
Time wise, or just how we doing?
Overall,
We talking
Well,
about?
gentlemen, I think you're doing a fantastic job.
All right, big man said we're
It's
fine.
funny because I mean I was into wrestling for a very very short period of time, Hulk Hogan era, and then
You
again
and Van
I
Damme.
always so to me the one that I'll never forget is when Hollywood Hulk Hogan turned back into Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I mean
Great
that was
American.
just and it was kind of when I got hooked because, and I will tell you, it was because the way they were doing the stories.
Right.
I could care less about the wrestling to some extent because it's very incredible, the athleticism and all that stuff. But the backstage stuff and and especially when you go back to like the late 80s, 90s stuff, it was so weird when they were like, there was the camera in the dressing room, but they were kind of pretending the camera wasn't there. Like now it's so different the way they do it. But back then it was almost like it was like they didn't realize there was a camera there and all
Right.
this was happening the way they would do it. It was like hidden camera almost. And it was just, but I remember watching that and that's all we were talking about. And I mean, I was out of high school at this point, so it wasn't like we were kids.
No.
We were talking about like people hated when Hogan was, with the black shirt, and he was with the what was the crew?
NWO.
The NWO
Yeah,
and
yeah.
New World Order, and they were like, and when he just ripped it off in the middle of the fight, it was just like. And I remember we had a big party on a Saturday night to watch it. I mean, it was just, and the fact that I think you somebody talk about Triple H being around so long. And like in a sense, he's part of the family. Like so, they kind of said this.
Literally.
He's the dude. He's the dude that they kind of brought along. It's it's like those shows where they like whenever he's watching like Yellowstone. Like it's almost like that. They could do that show like in a fictional world of a wrestling family, and I think people would watch it because of all the stuff that goes on that you talked about on the the dark side of wrestling and all that type of stuff. But I even remember before that when the Andy Kaufman stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Hall of
great.
Famer. Andy
I mean,
Last night. Shout out Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, I mean, like that whole bit, and when he went on the Letterman show, and they finally admitted, 40 years later, that it was all staged, and that it really was such a neat. But I'll tell you, I think if everybody really wants to admit it, the thing that made such a big difference was Rocky III. Rocky III.
Yeah.
When
Thunderlips.
Thunderlips shows up, like that was a weird thing. Like it really brought like this weird thing that was just kind of on like at midnight, this niche thing about wrestling, and brought it into like the biggest movie into the country. And that's I think was like such a whoever negotiated that to have Hogan, who was the biggest wrestler at the time, to be in that movie, I think was genius.
Probably the old man.
It transformed, I think, the sport in such a way.
Oh yeah, I would say that's when they kind of strapped the rocket to it, and then it took off. Because then I don't know what year Rocky III was, but I feel like shortly after that is when the first
like
WrestleMania.
84.
Yeah. So I think the first
Mr.
Mania
T,
was in
yeah.
85.
Yeah.
That would that would make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when it just shot into the mainstream. You got The Rock in wrestling. You got Cyndi Lauper, Liberace showing up. You know.
Great time to be a wrestling fan, as we mentioned. And with that being said, after WrestleMania, the chapter always closes on the season. Now we're heading to the new season.
Mm-hmm.
Raw after WrestleMania is one of the biggest shows of the year. So with that being said, after everything that transpired over the weekend, who's coming out tonight? Who's the big surprise? What's the next story? What's going on? Last year, who do we get? We got Ezekiel.
What?
That was hilarious, actually. I loved the Ezekiel.
It was so
gimmick.
random.
I love Ezekiel.
Who wants to speak with Zeke? And I was like, I'm in. I'm in. I thought that was that's the thing though too is
Are we getting new characters?
I
Is there
hope.
old characters coming back, or new faces in WWE? What's
I
going
feel
on?
like
All three.
unfortunately I feel like the Raw after Mania has kind of been diluted in the last few years, where it's not as
I agree.
It's not as many like surprise people coming up or new people with outside the company coming in.
right.
You're getting returns, from injuries. Excuse me.
Kind of like NXT calls, which I can't remember who they brought up last year. But now that Triple H is the head honcho, I think we're in for some call-ups, maybe some
think he's gonna
return,
do everything.
maybe some new faces.
I think safe bets, if we want to go safe bets for tonight, Braun Breaker coming up after dropping the
I think
NXT
that's it.
title
Yeah,
to
that's an easy
Carmelo
one.
Hayes. And a possible return from Orton from injury.
I agree.
think so too. So my thing about that was like, who do you have him come in against? You got to start something new now that Matt Riddle's on his hiatus or whatever.
Cody.
See, now I thought if you give Cody the belt, you could have like a
let it run off.
celebration,
Yeah.
So full circle.
a little celebration. Whenever Randy comes
Oh,
out,
hey.
congratulates him. This just drops him. Episode over onto
Start
the next.
KO.
But that's not the case now. Do you have him go after the top dog? Does Randy help Cody out in this story?
I mean, I feel like Randy could be a fine opponent for Roman in the interim, while maybe the other guys are cleaning some stuff up. Because one of my predictions, I would say, not necessarily for Raw tonight, but getting ahead of myself a little bit, but for Backlash, I'm thinking we see a little bit of a collision where it's Solo and the Usos versus Cody and Sammy and Kevin.
Makes the most sense.
Yeah.
For like a battle, because I think that would be a good payoff match. And I think people would love that. So I feel like, yeah, you need somebody in the interim to kind of
fill a gap.
And Randy would make sense because if you do still want Cody to be the guy that does take the belt off Roman, if you want that, Randy would be a good vehicle for that because, yes, I feel like Randy was Cody's mentor. So if Roman is just beating the shit out of Randy, Cody's obviously going to want to come to his aid.
Good point.
Yeah. And also, let's say Randy does face Roman. Just kind of like, hey, I'm back. You didn't beat me yet.
I don't think they have during this title
That's
reign.
another soon-to-be Hall of Famer on his list who he beat in this reign.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Just another
name
pawn
to the list
in the game.
It's another loser.
Just another right.
Boom.
But I think Randy's finally gotten to that point where with the Arcade Bros stuff and that, he looked like he was having fun, and he looks like he's finally he's in a position where he doesn't mind giving back to the business. So he probably would have no problem putting Roman over. He would probably have no issue with that.
Also taking a seat back, just watching it as a fan at home.
Right, yeah.
He's probably sitting there like, holy shit.
Absolutely.
Get me in there.
Fucking Randy Orton.
Now, I don't know, are you guys, this is my naiveness, so sorry, this is not to sound condescending.
What?
Yeah,
What
this
are
is
you
not
gonna
to sound
say?
condescending. Are you guys fan outside of the WWE realm? Like, do you, not closely, but do you follow like an AEW, a New Japan,
sure,
an
kinda.
Impact?
I'm kind of casual New Japan. AEW, I was like heavy when they first started.
No, it's
But
kind of.
now I hate to
kinda
say
fell
it.
off.
No, it's okay.
I hate to say it. They're slipping.
I feel the same way.
And now Dylan, if he was here, he'd be bragging and boasting because he's been saying it since day one.
No, he's got a good point. I was blind. Tony Khan had me blind, but then I realized
Dude,
he's
they
just-
had it. They had it.
That's what I don't understand. Literally, they were set up for success because Vince was driving everybody out of there.
Yeah.
The storylines were hokey. Besides the bloodline, I don't think they had really anything going on. So they had, oh my God, they had all the opportunity in the world, and they dropped the ball.
They said, you know what? Let's not be like WCW. And then end up being like WCW. We're going to take all the WWE guys.
That was their whole thing coming into it.
Because they had a lot of guys by themselves. They had Hangman.
Jesus.
They had Darby Allin.
Right, the pillars. You had Sammy, MJF, Jungle Boy, Darby.
Yeah.
MJF's paying off now.
Finally.
He'll always pay off.
You think when his contract up is up
He's
in
out.
2024? You think so?
He's out, yeah. Which me and Dylan kind of talk about it every now and then. Do we think he made the wrong decision by going back?
No.
And
Cool.
do you think
Build up his stock.
Do you think the steam kind of cooled down a little bit, MJF?
On MJF? No. I think
We're just here to ask the hard hitting questions.
No. That's a great question. I think he made the right decision because while he was becoming a top name in AEW and he was, finally getting national exposure, I think he's great at what he does, but I think he's great. But what would WWE have done with him? You know what I mean?
I don't think
right
he's
now,
the same guy.
Exactly. And I think right now that's what he's got to do is he's got to build his brand and he's got to be the champ somewhere else. And it probably actually is, WWE. I'm sure they have eyes on him now.
100%.
If they didn't before, they do now. Because all right, how does this guy do with the title? And I think the thing is WWE would have probably had to build him in terms of because my roommate and I talk about this all the time. He talks about it how AEW does a bad job of trying to get new fans. They cater to the hardcore fans. They don't cater to
want
the
to expand
casuals,
out, yeah.
right? So if MJF were to come into WWE before this whole title run and that, would the casuals have known him in WWE?
I'll also say,
That's a good point.
since Triple H is at the helm now, they're getting bought out by, what is it, Endeavor?
Endeavor, yeah.
So I think there's going to be a little culture change there. It's a new era.
Sure.
Could be. Very
Sure.
well could
So
be.
we're going to get a little bit more TV 14.
Yeah.
I
But
sure
not
hope so.
not enough to where it's Attitude Era.
Now that they kind of made it public that obviously we know that UFC is under their ownership as well.
Yep.
You seen in the announcement graphics, they got both the belts. So I do think UFC is going to bring that type of TV 14 rating attitude over, and it's going to carry over. And they're just going to have to go back to their old ways in a sense.
Yeah. Which I think MJF will benefit from that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, I don't know how you bring him to a PG program.
Right.
Because he's built off shit talking, literally doesn't give a fuck about nothing, nobody. Even out at signings, he was spitting people's faces.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Throwing
and,
drinks on kids, you know.
And you know, with the WWE crowd, that's probably not going to go over well.
Well, no.
Absolutely
Hell
not.
no.
No, I mean, especially with their partnership with Make-A-Wish. But I'll tell you right now, like, to me, MJF's the one guy who's keeping kayfabe alive.
That's what I'm saying. And it's
He's like the one guy.
right.
Because it doesn't matter if it's on social media. It doesn't matter if it's on person.
He's the same.
He's a dick.
Hell
But
yeah.
he's doing his, you know, he's
He owns
doing
up
his
to it.
job.
That's him.
Right.
He owns up to him. It's just him.
So maybe by then they'll change the rating. I don't know. Who knows?
I do think, you know, I think he could have gone to WWE and he'd have been fine, right?
Right.
He'd have been fine. But I think staying, putting, you know, I obviously he's gonna stay if Tony Khan's like, no, we'll put the belt on you,
That we're going to fucking pay you.
because you know, I mean, obviously New Japan's great, but literally nobody even thinks of Impact. So AEW literally is the second largest American
100%.
promotion. And, you know, while they are starting to flail and struggle a little bit, he is their, you know, shining star. He is their bright spot. And everybody tunes in
Because of him.
to see what the hell he's going to say next, because you don't know.
You never know.
And we're going to see this Wednesday when Tony Khan has another big announcement.
That son of a bitch. He's such a mark. I can't stand him.
Yeah. He's
I'm
so
sick of that.
Like,
I got another announcement.
And just
Hey,
fall.
I took a shit today.
Yeah.
Oh,
holy shit, we love you, Tony. We're glad you're eating well.
New AEW socks on the website. Make sure you
Literally,
grab them
that's
now.
what it feels like. At least it's like, and back to what we were saying earlier about this starting to see their downfall. I feel like it started to slip once Cody stepped down from his position there.
kind of, yeah.
That was a big deal.
It was huge.
That was a huge deal.
After I seen that, I'm like, oh, shit's probably gonna change a little bit.
I thought the same thing. And you know, they have talent, but I think
Just
the
can't
real
utilize them, man.
well, the real thing is I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Kenny and the Bucks contracts are also coming up.
Which I seen. I don't know how true it is that Kenny's open to jumping ship.
I think if Triple H really is still in charge, then I could see the Bucks and Kenny jumping. But if Vince somehow weasels his way back into like creative, I don't know if they would go back. Or not
I don't
back,
know.
but if they would go there in general.
I think it's to the point where he can't go back to his old spot.
I don't think so.
There's no way.
Because in the interview he had, I forget the owner's name of Endeavor. How do you say it? Endeavor?
Endeavor. I think.
Endeavor. I just bought their stock today. I gotta learn their name.
So you're an owner, huh?
Good luck on your future endeavors.
That was good.
Yeah,
That was
thanks.
good.
Appreciate that.
Talking about him on the fly. Look at you.
Yeah.
For Soren.
Well,
For real.
I learned a little. I'm a quick learner. I pick
Welcome
up
to the show.
Hey, thanks for having
you
me.
get smarter, but
Appreciate
yet dumber.
Don't know how that works. Shit.
I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking.
Oh, Vince McMahon.
McMahon.
Mickey Mouse.
He, in his interview with the owner, he pretty much said he wanted nothing to do with wrestling. He was done with it. He did enough. Boom,
Okay.
give the Triple H. But the owner of Endeavor,
Endeavor.
There it is.
boom, I'm gonna get it.
He
He was
got it.
like, I'm not letting that fucking happen. Yeah. I bought this shit. You're staying.
Right.
So he's like, okay, I got a cool mustache now.
It's
That
not-
it's like it's such a pencil stash too.
It is.
My God, it looks like somebody drew it on. Looks like the Etch-a-Sketch. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or like the magnetic where you pull it up and draw the mustache on
Yeah,
the
they
guy.
just
That's
wipe
what
it
I did.
off.
Yeah, exactly. They did
Look
that.
like fucking old man Walt Disney.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what kind of statement he's trying to make with that thing.
He had new character.
New character, yeah.
New character.
Yeah. That's a baby face, Vince. Coming back with a mustache.
Fucking
Rinse
sweet.
Chick Man or something will come back and be like, no idea.
Just don't get sweaty. It's gonna wipe off. But yeah, AEW. I don't know.
The reason I brought that up though is because I know another rumor floating around was I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jay White.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know the Switchblade.
They've been ever since the Rumble.
And my buddy
Could be tonight.
Once again, my buddy's my source. My buddy is my source. I'll tell you right now, man. I don't know what he's doing in local news because I think he could book this shit. Sometimes when he's fantasy booking, and I'm sitting there and I'm like,
that could work.
huh,
we
not
do
bad.
we do this shit all the time.
I love fantasy booking.
Yeah, my fiance. So when we first started dating, like one of our first times at my house, whatever, she came over. She's like, "What the hell?" It was like Monday night or something. She's like, "What is this? Like, how old are you? Whatever."
Yep.
I was like, "Once you if you hang around, you're gonna see."
And sure enough,
time goes on. Last night, I should have recorded this shit. I'm never watching wrestling again. How the hell are you going to have this built up for this? And it's just the same old boring storyline. His family comes in and helps him out every week. I'm like,
She was pissed.
I'm like, you're in.
Fuming.
And she took personal shots at me. I'm like, did I book it? No.
hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Said, I know you're used to liking losers. Your Colts are your favorite team. You keep losing. I'm like,
So she started throwing it back on. You started throwing it at you.
I was like, I didn't say nothing.
Oh, hey now.
What'd you write that script like that for?
Yeah.
I'm
Did
like,
you fax that over?
sorry, I didn't have a horse in this race. I like both of these guys, and I'm
The
happy.
fact to bring up
you
the
know.
Colts is this. Come on.
Like, what's your problem?
That
I know you're upset.
That's a shot to the yam bag right there. Honest to God.
I'm like, once we get Lamar Anthony Richardson, I'm gonna remember this.
And you're right. That you,
I'm gonna remember
watch.
this exactly. But nonetheless, she's back. She's full swing.
Couple things to piggyback off that is one, same thing with my girlfriend, right? It's funny because she goes, shout out Jen, by the way, shout out Jen. Shout out Jen. Love you. She was like, like last night, she's like, at first I don't remember you really talking about wrestling when we like first started like dating. I go, yeah, well, I don't think that's something you bring up front, That's
You
like ease it.
You just go, hey, I know we just met.
I love wrestling.
I got smack you in the mouth with this one.
WWE.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, brother. When you step in here,
First date, I'm like, can you believe they put Roman over again?
so what
then
the
they're
fuck you
like-
talking about?
Yeah.
I gotta go home. I can't do
Did
this.
you see what the
I gotta
Bloodline did
get
to
up
Sami
early.
Zayn first date? Did you see that? So
Hey, that shit was awesome, dude.
but it's funny, she's not as vocal as your fiance, but I will tell you that I've gotten her into it, both sides of things. So it's funny. I started her on the AEW, and she was like, "Oh, this is cool." Like we went to one of the Dynamites in Rochester, and we got on camera. We actually Moxley walked by us, and there's me just I don't know, like
Losing your mind.
Caucasian panic. He walks by me, and I just go. I'm like, what am I
Yay!
doing? I'm like, yeah.
Yay, John!
That's my guy. That's why I,
love
came
you,
here.
John.
So I get her started on that, and then I think honest to God, I think the first WWE event, and we've been dating over a year. First WWE event I actually like watched with her was Rumble, this past Rumble.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that was a
Good
good,
one.
Hooked.
Yep.
And the funny thing is, like I said, she's not as vocal, but I'm sitting there watching her on Saturday night and Sunday night, and I just look over and just this shit-eating grin on her face, and I'm like, "You're in.
You're in. You're stuck now.
You're stuck.
There's no going out of it.
That's it. And that's the thing. There's no turning back. There's no turning back. I feel
you're
like
hooked.
once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with my girlfriend. She started when the Bloodline with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Because I put it on. She's like, this shit's dumb. And
Like,
then slowly and
just
surely
wait.
I got it going on. She's like, wow, they really fucked over Sammy like that. and then WrestleMania.
Yeah, how they gonna do Sammy like that?
And then WrestleMania.
I love
Oh
that.
my God. She was also yelling.
Just cup of coffee. Just man, you believe that shit they did the same?
yeah. Actually, what was the last pay-per-view? Was it the Rumble?
Yeah, we all. Yeah.
Oh no, it was no. It was
Backlash.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
With Sammy. And she was almost crying.
She's
She's like,
stuck.
how are you doing this to Sammy? I'm
So-
like, yeah.
so it sounds
how
like-
how are you doing this
Sounds
to
like
Sammy?
July 10th. We're all heading to Monday Night Raw.
Absolutely.
Have to.
Yeah. I want to get to that for sure.
I wonder where the hell they're going to be at with their storylines by then. 'Cause that's going to
You'll
be leading
A
up
lot
to
could happen in
that's
a
going to
few-
be leading
few
up to
months.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So interesting enough, if I'm not mistaken, I have to look at the calendar. When they come here for Raw, it's going to be right after Money in the Bank.
Oh shit, you're right.
So I think Money in the Bank is in London in early July, and then when we would get Raw, I'm pretty sure you'd have your men and women winner. Well, LA Knight,
He's got it. He's got to.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. Dummy.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
It is July 1st.
Boom.
July 1st.
A week after. Yep.
That's a guy who I've followed since his Impact days.
Eli Drake.
Eli Drake, man. Well, it's funny because, Impact, if I'm not mistaken, they are still owned by Anthem, which is a Canadian company.
I
believe so.
So when Scott D'Amore and Don Callis were...
I love Don Callis.
Oh, he's another one, man. Fantastic. Don and Scott were running the show, and Josh Matthews and Don were doing commentary. So I think this is like 2018 at this point, right?
Yeah.
Impact from 2018, you look at that roster, and it's John Morrison, who ended up going off
Johnny
to
Impact.
What?
Johnny Impact. It's Penta. It's Brian Cage. It's all these people who ended up either
Splitting
WWE
off, yeah.
or AEW.
Being something bigger.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I tell you right now, I would go to. They'd run shows in Toronto. I'd go to Impact all the time.
Really?
I'd go to Impact all the time. Yeah, absolutely.
I
And
loved
so-
it. I loved it when they're TNA in 06 and all that.
Right.
That was a wild run, but
Well, that was another
That's-
another wild.
that's a
one.
whole nother
I'll come
story.
back. Let's have a whole. We should. You know what we should do? You guys ever just pop? We do a watch along. You guys ever do that?
I'm down for it.
We should do that.
One
We
of
should
the
just
TNA
pop
shows?
just pop something. Just give me something random.
Maranto's been wanting to do something like that for a while now. Now to put our production meetings into the show.
Again.
He-
Damn it.
It's all right.
He came up with the idea of doing something for the draft, but some events, like I kind of like just sitting there and just
Riffing.
following
watching it,
along.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But we have something in the works for something wrestling.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get you involved.
Let me know.
Maybe we'll get you
Let
involved.
me know. But so where I was going with that is I had a good opportunity to see Eli Drake live like a few times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, right away on the mic, his in-ring work is fine, but the whole dummy gimmick and that, I was
Over the moon.
Yeah, some things you can't teach. Like, if
no.
you got it, you got it.
He could talk like that is. He is a prime example of like talking the talk, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a wild statement, but his promo
I'm locked in.
reminds me a lot of a mix of like Steve Austin and The Rock in a way.
Really?
It's just the
That's bold.
emotion. I
Got
see
the
it.
one-liner. Yeah, dummy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Definitely the tone. I feel like the tone it's done in
the
too.
tone, the delivery, the motion. I don't know. Just something about that. And I'd see the same with I see some Eddie and Dom.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see
For
it
sure.
more.
Is it because of the haircut?
It has a lot to do with that.
Yes, the
but-
mullet. It's the mullet,
mullet has a
isn't
lot
it?
to do with
It's
it.
the mullet and Rhea Ripley.
Like the head motion and everything, the
Yeah.
way he looks into the camera. I don't know.
It's gonna be. I like that call, the LA Knight, because
Yeah.
that is thinking ahead. Who
Now tonight, when he comes on, keep that in mind.
I'm gonna be interested because I know too that he was talking about not having a Mania moment. Right?
I thought
So
it was gonna be Steve Austin coming out, just doing like a
that was
little
that.
bit.
I remember that rumor.
Yeah.
I remember that rumor.
I thought that would be the one.
It'll be interesting.
Imagine back and forth. What? Yeah.
What? Keep seeing
dummy,
it.
what?
Keeps popping on my TikTok.
People would eat that shit up. I'd be sitting there. I'd be glued.
That's another thing they fumbled.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Speaking about fumbling, Shane and his legs.
Fumble his fucking leg. That was.
Well, speaking of my girlfriend Jen, she's like, yeah. She said something earlier about him like blowing his quad. I go, I'm looking at Shane yesterday. I go, that motherfucker literally showed up, got dressed. And I was like, all right, I'm going out there. No way he's been training or anything.
Not at all.
He got there. He said,
Not at all.
that means a lot to me.
Bro, he
While
was
you're-
huffing and puffing when he came walking down the ramp.
Oh yeah, son of a bitch was blown up. He's like the ultimate warrior.
Yeah.
Runs out the ring, he's blown up. He's not safe. He's gonna hurt somebody out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does the leapfrog, and tears his quad. And
When
I love
seen
Shane.
him go down, I'm like, bro, there's no way he just pulled this shit. Now, the star of the weekend. The star of the fucking weekend.
Do it.
Is
Say it.
Snoop Dogg.
Unsung hero.
Yo, he came out of nowhere. And I forget who we were watching. I don't know if who said it. Like, oh, he's got like a head. It might have been you. He's like, oh, he's got something. I'm like, that was on the fucking fly. And the fact that Miz seen it coming too. The show could have ended. No main event, no Roman and Cody. You could have ended it right there. Keep
Give him his flowers.
keep Snoop the.
Also,
keep- have
him
the
high
gold
as
belt.
hell bouncing off the ropes
Oh, he was gone.
Oh, dude.
with no bounce.
As soon as he took the glasses off, baked. Just fully baked.
Yo, and you know
Take
he-
him out the oven.
And you know he felt like he was flying through the ropes.
He was.
Oh yeah, he thought he was he thought he was Ricochet bouncing
dude
off the ropes
sore.
there.
He's like, yo, I just got my 5-star match, man. Meltzer's seen this shit.
Dude, but honest to God, like even Triple H, Trips gave him kudos in the
Oh, did he?
press conference. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, shout out Snoop Dogg. Because that is the thing though. I gave Snoop Dogg all the credit because
He gets
for
it.
him to have the presence of mind with no earpiece to see that he's hurt and be
Just
like,
throw it in there.
he called it in the ring, brother. He's calling it in the ring.
He's probably thinking while he's like, "Yeah, you all right? You all right?" And he's like, "All right, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
Yo,
And he just right into the sternum. He just right into Miz's sternum.
Dude, he got
so
up.
hard.
pitch perfect. Yeah, I think that might be Roman's next opponent.
Snoop Dogg?
That might be
It's a
it.
classic, dude. It's gonna be a strong style classic.
We're gonna have to tune in to Raw. I know you want to get out of here before Raw started. We got 15 minutes to go.
I know.
We got
That's
50
all
minutes.
right.
We could talk about wrestling for hours,
I
man,
know.
which is why we're in the works for something. I'm gonna have to keep you posted on that.
I mean, let me know because I don't get to talk wrestling recorded as much as I'd like to.
So I'm
I
saying,
want
there we
everybody to
go.
hear my dumb takes.
Every now and then we'll do it on the show. We're mostly football.
Yeah.
Hey, for the football listeners, I'm sorry.
Sorry about it.
There's not much going in football right now.
Listen, the
Nothing's
NFL's scripted too. So
Listen,
what
hear
does it
me out,
matter?
hear
It's
me
all
out.
the same.
Hear me out.
Don't get me started on that conspiracy.
This guy,
You don't want me going.
we're talking wrestling for an hour and a half. He'll go on an hour and a half about that.
Most of the wrestlers are football players,
That too.
so
Boom.
it all connects.
That too.
Roman Reigns, football player,
So you guys can't be mad.
current champion.
You can't be.
So I'm assuming if you are a football fan, you like wrestling. Because we did start chatting about wrestling once the Royal Rumble hit. Survivor Series, and we kind of backed off Royal Rumble. We hitting the big.
Yeah, the
Big
major
events.
ones.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
like I mentioned, we got something in the works with one of our guys.
Hey man, I'm around. You know how to find
Boom.
me. I'm easy to find. I like to think.
Find him over at Dave and Adam's Card World. What did Pat McAfee call it? Dave and Buster's?
David Marks.
David Marks.
Thank you for sending me that, by the way.
Oh, that's-
Because
Wow.
I'm sitting there live. I was like on my phone, and I hear someone call from Buffalo, and they were like, "Oh, he's like, oh, you're the guy from Dave and Mark." I'm like, "There's no way he's talking about Dave and Adams right now." And then he kept going, and then Tyson was like, "Yo, you mean Dave and Adams?" I think is what it's called. He was, "Oh yeah, the card place."
yeah. I think we were
Fucking guy.
thinking that he was almost doing that on purpose, like to give the person I work with an opportunity to like keep saying it.
Yeah.
Like David Adams, David. The funniest shit is though, shout out Ray.
All right, man.
Yeah, Ray is one of the bros. Ray was sitting in her like a pod. We have like pods. She's sitting in the pod and she called McAfee. She was just at work. We're like, "What are you doing?"
Hey, you remember?
Hilarious. The fact that she was able to get through.
And then
guys,
and they
what a
and
moment.
they answered. That's legendary.
What a moment.
But yeah, hell of a conversation. We're gonna have you back on soon. Appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, man. You mind if I
Um,
plug a couple things?
Well, I was going to do it for you, but if you'd like to take the floor,
I
go
jumped the
ahead.
gun. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. It's your podcast. I feel bad.
You could tune in to the chase. Tune
What?
in to Troy and Yaga Bomb every.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Boom.
Twitch.tv/DA Cardboard.
Hey, who we talking to this week? What are we opening this week? Give a little
So
teaser out.
Yarger set up Wednesday. It's a guy, golf collector, which we don't see a lot of.
Masters coming up.
Masters is coming up, so that's why Yager wanted to have him on the show. And Friday, we are supposed to have a representative from Beckett Grading because Beckett made a big announcement at a big industry show this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It did not get received well, so they ended up negating what they did. So hoping to get them on the show and hoping to talk to them a little bit about what went into the decision and that, because it was going to be a big change. Like, it wasn't like a minuscule change. So be interesting to see what they do going forward after kind of going back on it a little bit there.
Well, we're going to have to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. The Chase. You can follow them at DA_The Chase on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at DA The Chase or DA_The Chase. Excuse me there.
Yes, sir.
You have to tune in, man.
Yeah, make sure follow the main account too at DA Car World. Follow us across all the platforms there, because that's where you'll get some extra content. Like all the breaks we do, that'll be through the main account. So
There you go.
check all
What'd
that
you just
out
have,
as
Tom
well.
Brady rookie?
Oh yeah, I hit that Tom
Yeah.
Brady rookie a couple weeks ago out of Fleer. Today we did like a March Madness break, so that was a lot of fun where we literally like bracketed a bunch of people who bought in and got down to one winner. And then we actually on Saturday we did a WrestleMania break. We did like a tables, ladders, and chairs break, we called it.
That's awesome.
Okay, we're going to have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, check it out. You can watch the replay of stuff on our YouTube, youtube.com/DA Car World, and then you get the different channels. So
Hell yeah.
plenty of places to find the David Adams content. A lot of good stuff happening now, and obviously down the road too.
You're
For
gonna
sure.
get used to seeing his face. He's all over the place.
Face
Boom.
only a mother could love, and I stand by that.
That's Troy LeCastro, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
I
for
really
stopping by.
appreciate y'all.
Hey, we're gonna have
Hey,
you
hey,
have to
thanks,
have you
sir.
back on again.
Thank you.
Dude, no, thank you.
No.
No.
Oh, thank
Pleasure
you.
was
bro.
all mine.
You know
No.
what? It's ours.
Thank you, bro.
Hey,
We're gonna have to have you. Hopefully, we'll get it a good time when Dylan comes in, because I feel like you guys could,
I need to talk to Dylan.
Stir the pot a
Dylan
little bit.
and I have mutual friends, but him and I have never really been able to actually have a conversation. And now after what you guys are telling me,
Yeah, we're gonna have to build
I'm building the Kyler and who does he hate?
fucking
Dom
Oh my God,
Mysterio.
Dom
Mysterio.
Mysterio. We're fantasy booking that match. He's got to pick one.
And
pick one.
right now, he's not happy with the Bills front office and mainly the Bills beat writers. He's been beating them up
That's
on Twitter.
another one.
Sponsored by?
I plead
match?
the fifth on that one. I plead the fifth on that one.
Smart.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, thanks for
Appreciate
stopping
y'all.
by.
Enjoy it. Have a good rest of the show.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thanks for
dude.
stopping by. Thanks for stopping by.
Good seeing you.
Alrighty, everybody. A lot of wrestling talk, huh?
Wow, that
It was
was
a big WrestleMania weekend. We had to talk about it.
had to.
And I keep teasing. We got something in the works, so keep an eye out on that. But
What?
tonight
Tonight.
is the NCAA Men's Championship match.
That happened.
UConn and San Diego State. But before we get to that, I want to give a shout out to LSU Women's Tigers, women's national champions.
Hey, they couldn't see him.
People aren't happy about the shit talking.
Couldn't see him.
Which, a lot of people are making comments about that. They probably never played any sport in their life. So
Yeah, you know what? Tell them to grow up. All right? It's all the love and fun of the game.
it's okay to talk shit.
It's okay to talk shit.
It's really okay. But before we dive into that, let's check out the update on our bracket challenge.
I'm scared. That's all I got.
It's the last one until we announce the winner, huh? Unless someone just stepped out here and took it over. So while I get it pulled up, I would like to remind you that our ESPN Bracket Challenge is brought to you by T-Shirt University. Head over to T-Shirt University at the Galleria Mall to gear up
To what?
on your NCAA gear, NFL gear heading up the season. You might want to hold off on that. A lot of players on the move right now. NBA gear, NHL gear, all your Buffalo Bills and Buffalo Sabres gear, jerseys, you name it. T-Shirt University has it, and they'll educate you on the good old sportswear. So head over to T-Shirt University at the Walden Galleria, located, I think, right across from AT&T on the second level, right by the JCPenney parking lot. Go head over to our Tank Talk _pod social channels. Show them one of our posts to get 15% off your whole purchase. You better hurry up quick.
I was just going to ask you because I actually have to go to the Galleria tomorrow.
Oh, there you go.
Show them
I'm
the
going
post.
up there. It's a drive. I don't go to cheat to Vegas very often. So
Yeah. It's a good time.
when's it go to? What's the last day?
As of right now, you got till April 13th.
Oh, I can. I'm
This
going
week
around.
or next week.
Okay.
Head over to the Wall Galleria. Only in store. Hey, they do have a website. Promo code does not work online. You can only go show them the posts in store. Got a lot of NBA gear coming up. Now it's the playoffs coming around. So,
Go get your NBA gear.
all right, let's see where we're sitting at in the Tank Talk Podcast Bracket Challenge. We got, oh, shit. This guy might win. Duke. Not the local Duke. The other Duke. He's got UConn to win it all. So if he wins tonight, he's a champion, and he'll win a $50 T-shirt University gift card. Behind him, T-Money Swag Dog 4, but he's got Purdue winning. Duke's run away with this thing. He's 30 points up.
Well, congratulations.
I thought Brandon was gonna have something to say there.
No.
Where did you finish here? I'm sitting at 13 right now. That's not bad from how I started, honestly.
I'm at 19.
That's not bad either. Where's Nola's dad?
And actually, I will say in my other one, because I
Nola's
only made
dad sitting at
2,
25.
I'm first in my other one, so I stink.
Sorry about
Got
it.
70% in ours, and then 90% in the other one.
Troy was awesome, wasn't he?
He was, man.
I knew that was going to be a good conversation because I know he's a big wrestling fan. We don't really have small group of wrestling fans around here. And a
Small
lot of
group.
them don't, like we talked about, a lot of them don't come up front and let it be known.
And say, I'm a wrestling fan.
Nothing wrong with that, dude.
Nothing
Fucking
wrong with it.
Sports entertainment. I like to be entertained. So, yeah, looking forward to having him back on at some point. We're in the works and something. Big meeting tomorrow. Or Wednesday for me.
Oh, okay.
Regarding whatever you want to call it. Can't say it.
Can't say it.
That's what it's about right there.
I can't see.
Oh, I can't see it. All right.
Damn it. Here, I'll take it down.
There's a belt up there.
Can I
There's a
take it
bill.
down?
No, leave it up to
Leave
leave
it
the
up there.
imagination open.
Oh.
The brass ring is up there. We just gotta go fucking reach for it. But anyways, while we're paying the bills here, let's get the people at home paid. So are you looking to make the best profit as you possibly can off your sports bets with the help of our friends over at Betstamp?
Yeah.
Betstamp is the best sports gambling tool in the game and provides you the best odds in the market from all eligible sports books in your state, and also helps you track all your bets from across each platform. For example, let's do a little line shopping.
Uh-oh.
I already punched it in.
I saw.
I was
like, damn, this is kind of early for him to do it, but hey, he's confident.
It's a championship night, man.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
UConn taking on San Diego State. What's your thoughts here going into this one?
I think it'll be a good game.
You think so?
Yeah.
So our pick of the night is UConn. -7, sitting at -108 on WinBet. But now, for the line shopping example, because obviously -108 for the 7-point spread for the Huskies is sitting on WinBet. But if you were looked across to the other sports books,
What?
you can. Well, what's available? It's -7.5, sitting at -110. Why would we do that? We're buying the half a point with better odds. You know what I mean?
Got to.
Or if you want to get better odds, there's also -105, but it's a -7.5 point spread, and that half a point can make a difference.
Again.
The Huskies been on a roll, man. They've been tearing up this whole bracket. I think every game they've won by 13 plus.
Which is wild.
It's been running through this bracket. So I think they're going to do it yet again to cap the season off and end March Madness.
No more madness.
It's all
No
over
more
with.
March.
It's all over with. So with that being said, what we just did there is what we like to call line shopping, ladies and gentlemen. And Betstamp is the best place to do that at. Betstamp also provides a marketplace where you can follow other good gamblers and see what the hot picks are. Follow our show on there at TankTalk_pod to see how we're doing and tailor our picks of the night. So what are you waiting for? Become Betstamp verified today by downloading Betstamp using the promo code TANK.
TANK.
When you sign up to find the best odds in the market and start betting like a pro. Also, a new feature.
What?
If you're on YouTube watching right now, head over to the description. There is a link that shows our favorite sports books to gamble at. And also a link to download Betstamp using the promo code TANK. So go
More
ahead.
convenient for you.
You know, that's what this world is about, making things more convenient for everybody. Isn't that right, Moranto?
I'm all about convenience.
Just, you know what? It's right there. May as well give it a try. Just bloop. Bam, got it downloaded. Easy.
So go
You
ahead
can't
and
type
do that.
all that shit in. You,
Right.
That's
It's like,
a lot-
oh, I
that's a
got to.
lot.
you need a link.
Right. Sends you right over.
I really hate to do this right now,
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
but I've been having the fucking piss this whole time.
Okay.
I've been meaning to go before the show, but I was looking forward to getting into it, so I got to go real quick.
So
If y'all
I
want
guess
to
you
pick
and
up
I
the
are
slack,
up.
hey, you guys are on deck. So I'm going to just drop it right here. Hopefully,
what we got? What we got?
hopefully the conversation picks
Yeah,
up.
Just go quick.
So the Titans are looking to trade up to the third spot. What do you guys think?
It's funny how you say this because you're the Colts fan and they're at 4. You see how he gets away with that?
Yeah. He didn't want to. He's avoiding the conversation.
He said, "Oh, you know what? We're rivals with them. Oh, they might get to the third spot. All right, see you."
He had to go.
Now imagine, you know what? Just because he's not in here, I hope Titans go 3, and they get Richardson just to screw over the Colts, and they have to get Will Levis.
You know what?
Because I can confirm when he walks back in, he said if they get Will Levis, he will drink coffee with mayo in it. He said that. Because that's how confident he is.
That's
They
a great
won't get
seg-
him.
I want to. We're gonna have a camera, a real specific camera with him drinking the mayo.
Mm-hmm. Hey, watch this. This
Mayo
isn't
cam.
fake.
We gotta put the mayo
The
in.
mayo
like,
cam?
You can't come
Ah.
with the mayo in. Like,
No,
he's got,
no, he's
it's
gotta do
gotta
it
be
on camera.
The whole process
Exactly.
of the black and the mayo.
You think it's good? Any chance?
You know what? It seems like right now there's so much up in the air. Like, nobody wants to, like, pull the trigger, so to speak, like, on anything. Like, I just can't believe that there's no movement right now on anything. Like, I just expected this would be. I feel like there was all that activity, and now all of a sudden everybody's like, well,
That's how it goes. Yeah.
like, everybody's like sitting and waiting, and I don't know what's the thing that's going to cause all these changes, everything to start happening.
Mostly just quarterbacks.
But I mean, what's the big move? Is it going to be Rodgers? Is it going to be
Lamar? Yeah.
Is something going to happen? Because once one of those big ones happen, and we don't usually have big ones like this.
Yeah.
So once this big one happens, then everybody's going to be like, brrr, and it's all going to go nuts. And we were discussing how much we can't wait to see you put the mayo in the coffee to
I
drink
told
it
him.
when this happens.
I said, listen, I hope they go up to 3. They get Richardson. That forces you guys to get Will Levis. Because I know you said off camera.
I did. I was going to bring it up today.
I brought it up just for you.
So I'm going to say this right now. Out of the 4, Will Levis is my last pick. Obviously, if you've been following along, that's known. That's a given. But
He's your 6th pick. You're taking Bennett and Hooker over him, too.
I would. But
no.
the arm strength is there. I don't know about the accuracy. He's got a little dog in him, whatever. But I personally think he's just a Carson Wentz 2.0.
Boom. He stinks.
Same build. I mean, I don't know. Same play style, gunslinging. Doesn't really care what's going on in the game. He's going to try to make something happen. Very forceful. Likes eating bananas with the peels on them.
He's going to be
You
a
gonna do
10-7 quarterback.
So if the Colts draft him at 3 or 4, whatever the fuck they do, well, if they trade up and get him, that would be even worse.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
They have to draft somebody. If we don't get Lamar, they have to draft somebody. I've come to terms with that a long time ago. But if it
Have
comes
to.
to Will Levis, the Indianapolis Colts draft Will Levis April 27th,
That sounds right.
I believe. The following show that Monday, I'll drink coffee with mayonnaise in it.
Holy shit.
That would be May 1st. Mayo 1st.
Oh,
Fuck.
shit.
Stars are aligning.
They are.
We're drafting Will Levis anyway.
Yeah, you are.
Then
I
we're
can see
really
him
gonna
in
have
the
you run
uniform,
to the
though.
bathroom because you're gonna run to the bathroom to throw that shit right
Man,
up.
you thought I had to go up and piss
That's
right
gonna
now?
be just bad. I gotta say. I don't know.
I think you guys got to be open-minded. How about that?
What I was saying is I just don't understand why nothing's happening anywhere. You know what I mean? Like there's like
We're kinda at a
someone's getting a
standstill.
guard and he's getting the new punter and like, but nothing's happening. And I think we need some big things to start happening here. And I know we got a few more weeks to the draft,
Yeah,
but
now-
I just feel like everybody's just kind of like,
Well, they're at a standstill because now we're getting to the point where, like, okay, we're getting really close to this draft. We're going to see what we can invest in the draft. And then if we don't get the position we need or want to fill, there's going to be some veterans out there, which I think this is going to be the perfect market for Ezekiel Elliott right now.
okay,
Because there's a number of running backs in the draft, whatever, that obviously the running back market is go young. You don't got to pay them that much money,
Yeah.
whatever.
Very bad.
and they don't last.
Depends who they are,
yeah.
but more so than anything.
Get a good 5 years.
So I think whatever team doesn't get who's looking for a running back that doesn't draft one, Ezekiel Elliott is probably going to be on call. So I think that's kind of why we're at a standstill right now overall, because now we're starting to look towards the draft. A lot of scouts are evaluating and everything and all that after all the pro days and combines. So I think that's why we're at a standstill. And I think the same might happen with Lamar.
And the superstar wide receivers aren't going to go with those quarterbacks still not at their final destination. And also, there's some receivers in the draft. Why pay the older guys
Let's get him
when
young
you go a
and
little
cheap.
cheaper? Yeah.
Young and cheap. So we'll see. But back to the Will Levis and Colts Tennessee thing. So it has been reported by, what's his name? Dove. You know who I'm talking about on Twitter?
No.
Okay. Shout out Dove, man. He reported a report by Adam Schefter that the Tennessee Titans have looked into trading up to the 3rd overall pick with the Arizona Cardinals to potentially draft a quarterback, more than likely Anthony Richardson if he's available.
It's crazy that's when you choose to go pee, though.
I
Your
really,
teams have four.
I really couldn't hold it in, man. I had to.
Right, and the thought of them doing that almost made you piss your pants.
Yeah.
That's why you had to run.
But now my thing about this is that I'm not fully buying into it, not just because I'm a Colts fan, but because right now, like I mentioned, we're at a standstill. Nothing's really happening. Teams might be reaching out to Arizona regarding a trade up because there's obviously the Titans, Colts, potentially Raiders. You get it. They're quarterback needy right now.
What I'm gonna say is.
Oh, can I finish what I'm saying?
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Cut me off.
You know, I thought that was.
No, it's not.
My
But
bad,
I'm
my bad.
saying, like, Arizona's trying to stir the pot a little bit. Like, okay, these teams want to trade up with us. So, Indianapolis, this is your rival. They're looking to draft your quarterback that you want. What are you going to throw down to get ahead of them? You know what I
Boom.
mean? So,
Because I was gonna say, one of the Titans people were like, "Let's get them a little scared."
could be that
Have
too.
one of our guys say,
Make them jump.
"Yeah, hey, we're gonna get 3," and then holy shit, we can't have the Titans jump us.
Yeah. But what do you think the price tag is for that 3rd overall spot? Because obviously it's going to be whatever first-round pick you have.
And then next year's, that's my guess.
You think he's going to take that much?
2 firsts.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to.
because I think Anderson's the guy. If that's who they draft.
Arizona.
And obviously, quarterback-driven league, they're going to want a quarterback over a defensive player. So, okay. Make it worth my while.
I don't know. Like, just knowing Chris Ballard, I don't think he's going to want to give up, well, Irsay too. I don't think they're going to want to give up the next year's first. They're treating these first-round picks like golden nuggets.
I also don't think they're going to move up anyways.
I don't think so either. Because the word has come out, even though the latest was that Will Levis is trending up, is picking up steam with Indianapolis, which I don't know if that's completely true, just from hearing what a lot of the beat reporters have been saying and this and that.
I feel like he's a wild card.
They don't love no one in this draft.
Yeah.
That's what the word's been.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. I mean, Shane Steichen in an interview with during the owners meeting, someone asked him who they think is going to draft. He said, I got no fucking idea. We probably don't know till that night.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, I think a lot of it's just he say, she say, just trying to stir the pot up until then. That's all I'm saying. But can I see Tennessee trying to use those tactics and maybe they even do trade up? I could see it happening. Why not?
But to get a quarterback?
Tannehill might be on the way out, and especially if – I don't know. That is tough.
Also, blanking on his name, they drafted him last season.
Malik Willis, I know. That was my thought, too.
It's like – I know there's a new GM in the building, but like –
But they brought in Josh Dobbs ahead of him rather than giving him the opportunity. So I don't know how they truly feel about him. I liked him coming into the draft last year.
You just got to give him a chance.
Which he's only been getting garbage time, so I don't know how much that really proves, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, especially now. You don't have an offensive line.
Well, the
you have no receiver.
Right. Well, they're
besides
coming.
Burks.
Yeah, he's going to take time.
Yeah.
But my thing about that is I feel like that would be a good scenario for them. 'Cause Tannehill, his production is on his way out. He's slowly descending.
But also, who do you trade him to? No one's going to want him.
Probably just let him walk after the contract because if you get Anthony Richardson,
he does have 1 year left.
He needs some time to develop. He's not going to be playing right away. So fuck it. Get drafted Anthony Richardson, who's got his ceiling is fucking higher than this
Huge.
building. It's a decent sized building here at Emerge.
It is.
Ceiling's high.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like that'd be best case scenario for Tennessee. I mean, you got him sitting behind Tannehill, who's had a decent career. And once it falls apart for him, it's time for him to step up.
Yeah.
It would be sort of similar situation with Seattle. A lot of people were saying Anthony Richardson in Seattle.
Ooh.
That'd be wild.
They could just do both of their first rounds. Probably not. It's only 5. Right? Their first one's at number 5. So they wouldn't drop back too far if they go to 3.
To Tennessee or Arizona?
Arizona.
If they
Drop
trade.
back from 3 to 5. It's like.
Do they have? I don't think Tennessee has.
Oh, I'm talking about the Cardinals and Seahawks.
Oh, Seattle, my bad. Yeah. And you got Indianapolis in that 4, which we know they're getting a quarterback. So Will Anderson could be falling back there. I don't know. Who knows?
But
Only time will tell.
4 quarterbacks in a row.
Could happen. But now speaking about another quarterback, the word this week is that Hendon Hooker might be I forget who said it. But they said there's no chance in hell Hendon Hooker gets out of the first round. Which is wild.
Because he was supposed to be one of the top guys for this draft.
I think he would have been ranked above Will Levis, which here's an interesting stat too. He beat all of them during the season.
He beat all of them. Crazy.
I don't have the scores in front of me right now. I should have had that ready to go. But he beat Alabama and Bryce Young. He beat Ohio State and C.J. Stroud. He beat Kentucky and Will Levis, which I think the score there was like 43-6.
Yeah, it's Kentucky football.
Who else am I missing?
Not getting
Anthony
much.
Richardson. They whooped on Florida too. So I guess it's not one-on-one, but regardless, he showed up and showed out in all those games.
It's been a guy.
But then he tore his ACL, which obviously has been holding him back here. But he had meetings this week with the Colts, the Giants, the Saints, one more. Can't remember off the top of my head. I don't want to say it was the Bucks, but I think it might have been the Bucks.
Y'all need a quarterback. Besides the Saints, but
How long does Derek Carr have?
yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, Hendon Hooker's already 26, 25.
25, I think.
I don't know. I really like him though.
Yeah, because we were high on him, but like before.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever picture pops up of him, the football just looks fucking tiny.
Yeah. Like every time I'm like, oh, this guy, yeah, he's talking, he's doing whatever. And it's just a picture. And it's like, holy shit.
Like he's got everything you're looking
All
for. In a
tangibles.
quarterback, basically. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Tangibles.
It's people.
He
They're-
ticks every box.
They're bringing up the ACL and the age. I'm not concerned about the age. It is what it is.
'Cause that just means he's more ready, more experienced playing
I think so,
football,
too.
you know?
But like the ACL thing, I get it. But if you go to a team where you already needed to develop somebody and you have a bridge, that's a perfect scenario.
Perfect.
So we're gonna have to see the Hendon Hooker train there. I'm all on it.
Crazy. Mid-late first round? That's probably why the Colts aren't too worried.
Yeah, because if they don't get their guy, I could see them maybe trading their 4th pick. I don't know.
They could. Just say, hey, let's go.
Shit that we're not
Let's
gonna
go
expect.
15.
Shit that we're not gonna expect is gonna happen draft night. I mean, I feel like there's gonna be more trades than ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit, Anthony Richardson might go 1. Who the fuck knows?
I'd be surprised.
The other latest going on in the NFL right now, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, crickets. Lamar Jackson update, there is none, crickets. Sitting there and waiting.
Gotta see at least the first round.
But I guess it was reported today that the Baltimore Ravens have sent Odell Beckham Jr. an offer.
Yeah. He talked to a few teams.
Which brings me to think that Lamar might fucking end up going back, huh?
Well, also, that's why he's not sure he's signing there yet. You know what I mean? Because if he goes there and Lamar leaves, he's kind of stuck.
Right. I mean, it's going to be wild to see how
It's
this shit
like-
plays out. But like I said earlier, Lamar Jackson move might happen after the draft, or shit, it could happen the night of.
Yeah. There's at least going to be one that's going to be the night of.
Do we want to do GM cap today? Since I didn't buy PFF Plus, you stupid motherfuckers.
We don't have to.
All right.
Doing what? 2 picks? It's not really doing nothing.
Oh, they opened it to 3 rounds. Okay, moving on a little bit.
Not really.
Next week we might get 4.
Probably not.
But I gotta buy it. I gotta get the subscription so we can finish before the draft.
They have to.
Bring up the draft order. Who would you want to do
For today or for next time?
for next time? Just trying to get ahead of the curve here.
Gotta look up the draft order.
We did the Texans kind of when it was me and you on Instagram. We did Indianapolis. We did Detroit, and we did Atlanta. Marantha, who do you want to see? Which franchise do you want to see us fix? In the top 10.
In the top 10 picks?
Or shit, maybe we could do Buffalo. I don't know. We need Dylan here for that one, for sure.
Oh, for sure. How about, You said you want a top 10 pick? Or just...
And now at this point, don't matter.
Because there's a few teams.
Well, list them.
Who's got
So we got
a couple high drafts?
Seattle.
Like Seattle has a
Seattle would be a
few.
good one. You
Seattle
haven't,
would be
you haven't
good.
done Seattle.
No.
Don't they have like a 5th and a 20th or something like? They have like 2 in the
Yeah,
first round.
it's the 5th and the 20th.
Yeah.
And they've got some. They got some holes to fill.
They do. I was going to say Either them, the Packers, or the Commanders. Because Packers, what are they doing?
The Packers are dead.
You don't believe in
Packers
Jordan
are
Love?
dead. Hear
Because
that?
they don't have a quarterback.
They got Jordan
They
Love.
got Jordan Love. You hating the love, dude? You hate love. That's your problem.
I just don't think they're good. I just don't know what. I don't know what they're going to be able to do next year.
I think they get 8 or 9 wins again.
Yeah, that's
Boom.
yeah. They're going to get
I
that.
think they get
Jordan
7.
Love's another. He's like, he'll get you 8 to 10 wins.
But also, what have we really seen from him?
He played
He's
all
we
right.
don't know.
He's not. He's just not. He's not.
He
He's
played-
not the worst guy. And it's who was the. I'm better than one of the 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. Who is that?
Oh,
Cam
it's
Newton.
Cam Newton.
I'm like, yeah. So what?
What's
So-
Cam got to do with it?
No,
He's
but I
just
mean,
sitting there
like
minding-
Jordan Love. Yeah. So he might be. He might be Jordan Love. Ooh,
I don't.
you know, like
I don't think
he's
he
not.
is.
That's my point, though. I mean, like.
Whoa, what?
They're not doing anything. They're not. I don't know. I think Seattle's a team that's more interesting to me because they got a couple
dudes-
drafts. Everybody count them out. They actually played really well.
Nola's dad will be on board for Seattle.
Because I think, I'll be thinking, I'm going to kind of, if we do them, the Commanders, Jacoby Brissett, keep him in. Let him do what he's got to do for the season.
Same all.
Forget about him. You draft Hendon Hooker, ACO. He starts next season.
They very well could, but at 16, who knows?
That's where he's projected to go now. Late first round. That's just a little bit mid.
Nobody knows nothing.
I know. He's going to the Commanders.
Which is why I think it'll be hilarious if we started, instead of saying I think, we say we know.
Well, you're damn right. I know he's going to the Commanders.
That's
All right? Damn it. He's going to go
But then the next
either
sentence,
Commanders or Giants.
Or next week you're gonna say, I know he's gonna go to New Orleans.
No.
That's
Hooker's. I was just looking it up. Hooker's meeting with New Orleans.
Yeah. Forget about it.
he's one of the most intriguing players to see where he lands because I really think he's gonna be.
I think he's going to be good.
When fully healthy, dude. He was basically the front runner of the Heisman Trophy this season.
Because I either think he's going to go to the Commanders or the Giants. He sits behind one of them, too.
The Giants, even after they signed Danny Dimes,
Yeah.
I don't see that. With all due respect, sorry.
All right, sorry.
But I mean, you could be right because nobody knows nothing.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he knows?
I know. I thought we were supposed to be confident, not use.
We
I
are.
think.
That's
There is
right.
no think. There's
no
only
thinking.
no.
We know everything,
There's only no.
but we don't.
Stetson Bennett first round?
Boom. Number 1 overall, Carolina. Donnie, suck on that, motherfucker.
No way. He goes, let's see here. He goes Tampa Bay, 19.
All right, now we're getting silly. We're getting silly now.
Don't know if Baker's the guy.
Bruce Arians loves Baker. You seen that?
No.
He said, I'll tell you what, brother, I love me some Baker Mayfield.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
We'll see. I don't know. This is going to be intriguing.
There's just a lot of questions.
A lot of questions that need to be fucking answered. Can we make the right reports, please? Don't mislead us.
Please. That's all we ask.
What's the price tag on Lamar? We need to know.
It's really an interesting thing, like with Lamar, because they're.
You know what? I know.
They-
It's
they-
150 guaranteed.
Probably is.
For
All
how
right.
many? For
Simple
what?
numbers.
For what?
It's contract.
No, for 154.
For
Is
what?
that like a number?
how
of
many years?
Yeah. How
Oh,
many
the year.
years?
Oh, the duration.
Yeah.
Probably 3
And
or
how many
4.
years guaranteed? I guess
Yeah.
that's really my question.
Yeah, my guess, I was going to say 3.
Okay, because he wants more than that guaranteed. It sounds like, and I just don't.
Well,
think
now
that
they're saying
anybody's-
he don't want no guaranteed. So it's
He
like,
doesn't want guaranteed.
Not fully. Not
Oh,
fully,
okay.
like a portion.
All right. Well, because that was the rumor the other day that were.
And Jim Mercy said, shit, brother, it ain't about the money. I got that. But
It's such a bizarre thing too, because like like you're not calling Bob the agent. You're calling his Lamar. You're calling, you're calling him, and I just don't know, like, if that.
It's been hurting him.
I think it hurts him, right?
It has been. I mean, we kind of talked about it. But if you do want to listen in more, I just dropped our full conversation on the Lamar Jackson story on our YouTube channel, the Tank Talk Podcast. Get you all caught up, because I know we went in depth with that last week. So if you want to get caught up on the latest in the Lamar Jackson story, just go ahead and check that out. As well as our WrestleMania preview, because I think that shit was awesome.
Just check everything out, man.
You know what?
We do things here.
Just head to our channel, subscribe, and check it out.
Stay updated with what stupid shit we say.
What stupid shit are we going to say next week? Who knows? Who knows?
Better tune in.
Gotta tune in. So with that being said, I think we pretty much covered all the ground.
Yeah, we gotta watch Raw.
Shout out Troy for stopping by, talking about wrestling. What else? Head over to T-Shirt University, get 15% off your purchase. Show them this clip that Maranto's playing right now, or our post at TankTalk_pod.
Still doing that giveaway?
Still doing the jersey giveaway. Hey, I think we're at 110.
Okay.
About 15 subscribers away, so be a friend, tell a friend. Head over to our channel here at YouTube, Tank Talk Podcast. Give us a sub. And then, once we get to 125, we'll be giving an NFL jersey away. Any player of your choice.
Anyone.
Could be Lamar Jackson wherever he goes, Hendon Hooker wherever he goes, Stetson Bennett wherever he goes. Or shit, maybe you just want to get one of the top guys. Jalen Hurts, he was a hot jersey last year.
Hot jersey.
Josh Allen's he's up there in the area. Whatever player you want, you can get to his jersey. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us at TankTalk_pod. Stay up to date with everything Tank Talk. What do we have in store next week? We're talking to somebody. I ain't going to say the name now, but it's got a big fight coming up. I'll just leave it at that. Dill's Fighting Words are going to come back.
What?
That's right. So that being said, we thank you all for tuning in, supporting the brand, and being a sports stooge just like the rest of us. And we know everything. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Or we like to act like shit or whatever. Let's go watch Monday Night Raw. We'll see you guys next week.